Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Matt's 1-car, 2-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance.
We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
And we're good at the Wilbur suburban home with the 2-car garage/rehearsal space insurance. Have you seen my hockey socks?
Have you checked your sock drawer?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Interstate Battery's Southern Indiana High School football starts now.
On a beautiful Friday night, we welcome you in to Clarksville, Indiana for high school football on Glycod. Alongside Jim Kazermick, I'm John Baldridge, and Jim, a very good ball game tonight. 2 very good teams as the Providence Pioneers welcome in the Milan Indians. And can't look for anything more than offense in this ball game. Both teams have scored the ball very good in their first 6 weeks here in Week 7 on this late September night of football.
Well, you know, Providence is one of the top scoring teams in the state. In fact, they're so proficient that their statistics are very skewed because they've had running clocks in every one of their games. The second half has always been a running clock. So what statistics they could have generated during the second half has really been half of what they really could. And Coach Mack usually puts his subs in the game at that point also. Milan is a very, very strong running attack, some big offensive linemen, some pretty good-sized running backs. So we're looking for Milan to maybe keep the ball on the ground, try to keep some of that speed and offense on the sideline for Providence. So, John, it's good to meet you and good working with you tonight, and let's have a good one, huh?
Yes, sir, partner. As Providence, with their biggest win of the year last week, one of their biggest in school history, a 78-0 win over Irvington Prep out of Indiana, and this Milan team has won their last 3 after starting 1-2. We got a lot to come on the pregame show as we continue to count down on this Friday night as we have football action here in Clarksville between the Pioneers and the Indians on Glycod.
Hey,
this second shift, this old pair of pants, this staycation, this brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer. The only name you need to know for all your auto repair needs is Voyner's Auto and Truck Repair. Sure, our name might be hard to say, but we can fix everything no one else wants to fix. Big or small, we can do it all. Foreign or domestic, if it needs repair, Voyner's can handle the job. The only thing high-tech about us is what we do, and we're upfront with you and we'll do the job right. One thing we have to sell is our time, and we won't waste yours. Voyner's Auto and Truck Repair. Family owned since 1981. Call us for all of your auto repair needs.
At German American Bank, our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Dubuque County Fair is about to get its face melted! Yeah! 1 second.
I guess their faces are safe.
Shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, shut up.
Shut up, Jeff. I don't need your help.
Just like what happened in Pittsburgh.
Never mention Pittsburgh!
When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You never know who you're going to run into at a Skyline. I moved to Cincinnati, and I was playing in bands. I met Michael, and we've been playing and writing music ever since. We live 300 feet from a Skyline, and we go there constantly.
And I'm sure there have been multiple times where we've gone before a show and then after the show. Any time for us is Skyline time.
It has a feeling kind of like those mom and pop diners, also like a deep charm for me. It's just good hangs there at Skyline.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, it might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Contact Floyd Snobs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Allstate Insurance Agent Packy Page, with offices in Jeffersonville and Floyd Snobs. Allstate, you're in good hands.
We welcome you back here to Clarksville, Indiana on this beautiful late September night. 80 degrees our game time weather, presented by Mark Stevens with Americans Family Insurance, located in Jeff. Contact Mark at 812-283-8600 for your insurance need. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. It's a beautiful night. Crowd making their way in alongside Coach Kaz. I'm John Baldridge, and Coach, you got to like the environment. A team that's 6-0, New Jersey's on here tonight, and a big crowd on hand.
Well, and John, we want to thank American Family Insurance because since they're doing the weather this year, we've had 6 beautiful nights right in a row. We couldn't ask for any better season than this. So hopefully they'll keep sponsoring the weather for us.
Yes, and you talk about this Milan team. You had a chance to catch up with their coach for the ball game, and Ryan Langferman, and a team that started 1-2 but has really found their form. They had 383 rushing yards last week. A team that likes the ground game, have won their last 3, and a 4-2 football team coming here tonight.
Yeah, and the team they beat last week, Eastern Hancock, is a pretty good football team. So yeah, Milan is like a lot of single A teams. They will excel at one particular aspect of the game. And Milan decided they're going to be a strong running attack, and they've got some big offensive linemen, some big old country boys, who, eating that corn and soybeans up there in the Milan area, and so we look for them to kind of be ground and pound, keep it on the ground, try to keep the Providence skill people over here on the sideline, and not have the ball in their hands.
Yeah, and it's a team that was only 5-6 last year, and on the season. Both teams come in very highly ranked in the state of Indiana, and as we mentioned, just a beautiful night. We have our keys to the game next, as we got plenty more to come as we continue to count down to kick off here in Clarksville at Providence High School. You're listening to high school football on this Friday evening on Glycott.
I'm your cat.
I'm your cat.
Sure.
Girls in pretty dresses.
I'm your cat. And ever since you brought me home that day, I've been plotting to destroy you. This is 1 billion years of tiger DNA just ready to pounce. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, you could be coughing up the cash for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like meow.
Contact Floyd Snobbs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page for a quote today.
Dr. Carter's office, Annette speaking. How may I help you?
Whether you're a new or long-time patient, you know that when you call Dr. Todd Carter, you'll be treated like family. For over 25 years, Dr. Carter's been providing quality dentistry for patients throughout southern Indiana, from regular dental exams and cleaning to restorative and cosmetic procedures. Let their dedicated and established team take care of your family today. Call Dr. Todd Carter at 812-944-5155 or visit drtoddcarter.com.
What makes a credit union different or better? As a full-service credit union for the communities we serve, Centra offers competitive rates, online convenience, and a solid network of branches and ATMs. But we think we offer something more.
They looked at me as a person, not a number.
I would say it's always been a good, personable experience, whether it's over the phone or actually at a Centra location.
And we don't just listen to our members. We deliver new services, better rates, and lower fees. Visit Centra.org to learn more.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A community supporter of our local high school athletics, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. It's a level of care you won't find anywhere else. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com for more information. Priority Radiology, you have a choice. With a wide range of products including video surveillance, door access, fire alarm monitoring, or burglar alarms, Northside Security ensures top service at an affordable price. Their team will efficiently plan and install your system, then train you with 24-hour monitoring. For more, contact them at 812-282-3142 or get a quote online at northsidesecurity.com. Northside Security in Clarksville, where service and protection meet.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
We welcome you back to Providence High School, getting set for some Friday night football action in late September. And you can start to tell right now, Coach Kaz, as you get into October on the horizon, you can find out who the pretenders versus the contenders are. And right now, both of these teams, Milan and Providence, taking on place here tonight at 7 o'clock. Both look like contenders in this Indiana State football tournament coming up as we reached October and November. Both schools small, though, only about 380 kids. But you talk about guys that go both ways. And who are some of those guys tonight who are going to have an impact on this football game?
Well, for Milan, the impact's going to be the Austin Green and Mason Green. Now, one of those players is injured. One of those brothers is injured and won't be playing. Jeremiah Johnson is a running back. Logan Burton is a running back. Look for a lot of players to be running the ball for the Indians tonight. And then, of course, you got their big offensive line, and we'd be remiss without mentioning those big hosses in the front. We've got Ethan Pierce is at tight end, Landon Staley, Mason Johnson, Trent Langferman, who is the center. Met him before the game. Good-looking, polite young man. Joaquin Allen and Kyle Grotz. Those are the big hosses in front that are going to do all the blocking for that Indian running attack.
And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
You mentioned Dan McDonald will go down and get his interview here in a little bit. In his fourth season with this Pioneers team, has led this team to 6-0 this year, has spent time at Seneca as a defensive coordinator at Mayo, has coached all over Southern Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky. And a team that you talked about a very good question with is their offensive line. And I think you talk about all these skilled players on the offensive ball for Providence, but it has to get down to their big boys up front.
Well, yeah, we did mention those with Coach McDonald before the game. And again, we talk so much, and it's so obvious when we see these really good players they have in the skill position of receivers or running backs or quarterbacks and all the ways Coach uses them. But we really forget about the guys doing all the grunt work. Griffin Tucker at left tackle and Lucas Allgood at left guard, Gavin Evans at center, Sam Becht and Mark Miley. Again, those are 5 guys that are really making this happen. Carter Lanham has not been under a lot of duress this year at quarterback simply because that offensive line has given him a lot of time to throw the ball. So, again, the strength of Providence team is their team.
Yeah.
If you can picture that, their strength is being a team. But within that team, they have some really, really skilled players, and we'll talk about them some more tonight, I'm sure.
Coach, we got about 15 minutes before we get this thing started, and simply it comes down to blocking up front tonight, as you can clearly tell. Tonight's keys of the game are presented by Northside Security in Clarksville, where service and protection meets our guarantee. This broadcast is authorized by Providence High School with the production rights owned by Glide Cod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive and provide full representation of student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you all for watching tonight. We got more to come as we continue to count down to the kickoff here at Providence between the Vikings and the Indians tonight. We'll be back in a moment here on Glide Cod.
Wide range of products including video surveillance, door access, fire alarm monitoring, or burglar alarms. Northside Security ensures top service at an affordable price. Their team will efficiently plan and install your system, then train you with 24-hour monitoring. For more, contact them at 812-282-3142 or get a quote online at northsidesecurity.com. Northside Security in Clarksville, where service and protection meet.
Drug use in adolescence or early adulthood can have a serious impact on a teen's life. Teenagers who use marijuana are more likely to have lower grades, even drop out of school. They may also suffer from impaired driving, higher levels of anxiety, and depression. We all want to see the youth in our community succeed. Regardless of your stance on marijuana, we can all agree that it's not right for teens. Paid for by Drug Free Communities and Our Place. Parents want to do what's best for their children. Teenagers love a party, and often alcohol is involved at those parties. While some people think that hosting those parties in their homes will keep their kids safe, it's wrong. And it's illegal to allow your teens and their friends to consume alcohol on your property. In fact, it's a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to underage drinking. Funding in part provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health Services. For more information, go to ourplaceinc.org.
A proud supporter of the Providence Pioneers and Southern Indiana High School athletics, Mack Construction is a second-generation company that provides quality workmanship in heavy civil construction, asphalt, and streetscape while maintaining focus on worksite safety and productivity. Put Mack Construction's nearly 40 years of award-winning service to work for your project. For more information, visit mackconstruction.com. Mack Construction. Experience. Reputation. Solutions.
When young people need a place to go and someone to help, there's always a safe place nearby. Clark County Youth Shelter and Family Services, a local nonprofit organization, designates businesses and organizations throughout Clark and Floyd counties as safe places, which offer immediate help and safety to area youth who are experiencing crises. For more information on these safe places and a list of locations, visit ccysfs.org. This is a message from the Clark County Youth Shelter.
In one fell swoop, one innocent city will be left with one burning question.
What? No.
When you need to be there, you need an Interstate, the car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Vaccines help fight infections. When your child gets vaccinated, their immune system will remember the vaccine and attack the germ if it ever invades their body. Physicians suggest following the recommended vaccination schedule to provide your child with the best protection against serious diseases. The Clark County Health Department reminds you to stay up to date on your vaccines. For more information, please visit clarkhealth.net. Clark County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
I'm Coach Dan McDonald, the head football coach at Providence High School. Coach McDonald is now in his fourth year, 20-15 record, 6-0 this season. Coach, how does that stand in the history of Providence football? Have they ever won 6 in a row?
As far as I know, if you look on John Harrell's website, 6-0 is about the best start in the past 30 years.
Well, that's another great accomplishment for your team and yourself. Coach, I'm not going to discuss last week's game, 78-0. And I won't dwell on that, but here's what I'm going to tell you. In all my years of coaching, I don't think I scored 78 points in a skeleton drill with nobody on defense, because I know our team would have fumbled or thrown an interception between that. So that had to be a phenomenal experience. That's 2 points a minute, Coach, by the way. Coach, our listeners know about all your star players. We know about Lannon and Unruh and Lynch and Kerr and Theobald and Wall and all the other star players. But not many know about all the guys that are doing the grunt work, the guys with their hand down on the ground. Let's talk a little bit about Tucker and Allgood and Evans, Beck, and Millay, or anybody else in that group that you'd like to mention.
Yeah, Mark Millay just had a feature written on him on Wave 3 TV here locally in Louisville. Came back from a brain tumor last year, and he's performing really well right now. Right guard is Sam Beck. Sam started playing as a sophomore, and if you looked at Sam as a freshman versus now, you wouldn't even recognize the kid. He's grown, he's gotten stronger, he's become a lot more self-confident. Football has really done good for him. The center, Gavin Evans, his uncle is Pat Harris, who his jersey's retired here at Providence.
Everybody knows about Pat Harris in this area.
And Gavin started playing with us as a junior, had never really played before, and you look out on the field, you can't really tell. I mean, he does a pretty good job for us at center. Left guard Lucas Allgood is another one, had never played before until last year, and very, very surprisingly athletic. Does a good job pulling for us. I mean, we pull a guard on almost every play. So for him to pull like he does and having not ever played football, pretty special. And then, of course, Griffin Tucker offensively does a good job for us, but he's really done – he's been a game changer for us on defense. I think he's third or fourth in the state in sacks. And just a really violent, explosive player. And then on the other end, our two defensive tackles that we try to keep fresh, Connor Sadd and Zach Druin. Both of them got a lot of significant playing time as freshmen, and they've just been hitting the weights hard for 4 years, and they're kind of reaping the rewards of that hard work.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Connor Sadd your center last year also?
He was, and one of the goals of our offseason was to develop Gavin into an everyday starter for us. And our whole process in the weight room with Gavin this year was to raise those squat numbers, raise those bench numbers, and get better at snapping the football. And he did a good job for us there.
Sorry, Coach. And Tucker Griffin and Finnegan, I can't think of his first name right now, do a really great job of setting the edge on your defense. And that's what I've been most impressed about, both your defensive ends.
Yeah, Nolan Finnegan.
Excuse me.
He's another one. He's every bit the result of work ethic. 6'3", 215, 220, and moves pretty well and operates with great technique. And then, Griffin, we were blessed to have him move in over to Indiana and transferred to us, and he's been special. Coach,
it's always special when you get a transfer that can add to your team. And he incorporated himself in with your kids and the type of kids that you have.
Oh, yeah. He assimilated into our team culture almost instantly. There was none of this real awkward period of, who is this guy? And he earned our guys' respect very early in practice. A lot of our guys could see very quickly that this guy can play and he's going to help us out.
Well, anytime you get a player that can help you out, the other kids kind of like them a little bit too. Absolutely. Coach, one last question for you, and then I'll let you go. Tonight's game against the Milan Indians, nobody really knows a lot about them. My work looking up how they've done, they're a good football team. I think you're ranked number 5 in the state. They're ranked number 6. They got a strong running attack. Their coach has been there a while. He's a good coach and knows what he's doing. What do you expect from the Indians tonight?
They're very well coached. Coach Langfordman does a great job. He's about the best that we see on film, of showing you one thing on film, but then showing up Friday, making adjustments to take away what you do best. You can tell he really works on film throughout the weekend and over the course of the week, and goes into his Monday practice with his guys with a game plan, practices that game plan and execute on Friday. We're going to have to be on our toes tonight. They're good.
Well, I expect that you will be on your toes tonight, Coach. Your team always is. But what you said kind of remind me a little bit of your team, because now that we've been here 4th time, I feel like I'm scouting you now. And I expect one thing, but then you come out and do something completely different than what I expect. But, of course, you're doing that based on the team you're playing and their weaknesses and not what Coach Cavs wants to see.
Right. My coaching staff does a really good job of watching film and saying this is what we need to attack this week, or this is how we can put this team to a disadvantage, or this is how we match up on defense and take away their best run game. Our staff does a phenomenal job of that.
Coach is only as good as his staff and his players. Coach, good luck to you tonight, and thanks for your time.
Appreciate you, Jim.
American Bank. Our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank. Member FDIC.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, it might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Contact Floyd Snobs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today.
Flycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Flycon.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family-owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can.
Let's be honest. You don't see Grandma nearly enough. Which means the dead car battery you've spent the morning dealing with has robbed her of precious grandkid time. It's unfortunate, sure, but it's not like she's going to write you out of her will or anything. Right? When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
Back here to Providence High School on this beautiful September night as the Pioneers come in at 6-0, trying to stay unbeaten alongside Coach Kaz. I'm John Baldrige here in the press box at Murphy Stadium, and Milan makes the trip up from right down up the road here after coming off a 3-game winning streak. They're 4-2 on the year. Take some look at the starting lineups now between both teams, and really comes down to, I believe, in the run game in this matchup.
Well, it will, and unfortunately, we had a nice interview with Coach Langferman, where we had some technical difficulties and didn't get it in. So it's he's a very personable gentleman who's been coaching for 17 years. So he's pretty much seen it all. He'll have his team ready to play tonight, and if we want to talk about some of the keys to this game, they need to control the line of scrimmage. They need to keep those Providence skilled people off the football. Control the ball, establish their ground game early, stay ahead of schedule, which means don't have any second and third and long situations that force them into passing, which is right into the Providence strength, playing pass defense. And on defense, they need to identify Providence's formations as quickly as they can, because their formations are going to kind of give you an idea of what they're going to be doing offensively. So Coach Max, Coach Langferman, does a great job on film study. So he's going to have his team identifying what those formations are and what plays to expect. And in Providence, we feel like this might be their first real test of the season. They've had some games that were, I'll be honest with you, they were playing teams that weren't very good. Charlestown was a good team that had some injuries. They need to limit Milan's kicking game and big plays. Speed kills. Use it to your advantage. Make sure that you get your skilled people, your speed people the ball. Play disciplined defense. Play your position. A lot of times when you're playing against a running team, your defensive players will lose their discipline and they'll want to I'm going to do this instead because I think trust the guy next to you, trust the guy behind you that they're going to do their job. You do your job. Don't try to do something that's different. Do what you've been coached to do. Don't be fooled by Milan's misdirection plays, and force the Indians into those second and third and long situations. So those are my keys to the game.
Well, thank you, Coach. Tonight's starting lineups are presented by Interstate Batteries. Get started with Interstate Batteries. They're outrageously dependable. Providence will kick this ball off as Milan will touch it first here, making the trip down the road to Southern Indiana as a top-ranked, 2 top 10 teams in the state of Indiana about to kick it away. And kicked off from the 40. It's going to be a low boot, and this one might roll out of bounds. No touched over there. And up past the 20 to the 25, breaking past the 30. He's got a hold of the 40, still on his feet, close to midfield, and beautiful starting position from the first play for the Indians all the way to the 47-yard line.
And you can't script a better way to start the game than what they did right there.
He broke away down the sideline towards the Milan bench, and then it looks like they're going to back up, maybe a flag down, yes, a yellow marker around the 23-yard line, which will push back the Indians after really was great starting position.
Yeah, that hurts. That looks like a 15-yard penalty, John, but in reality, that ends up being almost a 40-yard penalty because you're going to lose all that yardage from the 45-yard line all the way back down to the 12-yard line.
So the mark at the 12, and Wyatt Marsh in the offense will come out. Marsh doesn't throw a whole lot, only 6 for 10 last week, did have 2 touchdowns. As we mentioned, this Indians team loves to run the football, over 380 yards rushing last week, and they'll start in the I formation. And they'll send a man in motion, and up first down, they're going to hand off, and not much room. Good stop by that interior D-line of the Pioneers.
Yeah, that Pioneer inside, Connor Sad, Zach Druin, and Cooper Ross are going to have a tough test tonight.
You're talking about guys who go both ways on teams that don't carry a whole lot of bodies. Both teams about 40 kids on the roster, and they'll give him about 2 or 3, and it will be second and about 7 coming up.
And it looks like Milan is running what we used to call the wing tee or the Delaware wing with man in motion and a lot of misdirection. We think we'll see a lot of misdirection tonight.
And it's going to be interesting. Both of these teams like to huddle. You see a lot of no huddle nowadays and plays called from the sideline in high school football. Not with this Indians team. They'll mark it at the 15 and send a fullback and a tight end and a running back in there, and they'll switch it around, left side breaking away, but still not much room. And what a job. That looked like Luke Kruer on the tackle, and it will be 3rd and long upcoming.
Yeah, that was Luke Kruer on the tackle, but let me tell you, the Griffin Tucker and Lucas Thomas set that edge and did a great job of containment because Milan had a whole boatload of Indians.
It will be 3rd down. They'll mark it again here back at the 13. A loss of 2 on the last play. And you'll see the pass game, I believe, on this 3rd down, but they love the ball run with Austin Green and Mason Green, who both have touched the ball a lot this year for the Indians. 3rd down, they'll have a back in there, and they'll send a man in motion. Pressure's coming, thumps it off left side. It's going to be close to that 1st down marker. And does he have enough?
No.
I believe he's just short.
Short. Yeah, nice little play. Nice way to start the quarterback, gain a little confidence. Just a little swing pass. Providence does a really nice job of reacting up to the ball. Wyatt Small coming up from his cornerback safety position to make a nice stop on that. Good tackle on Wyatt Small's part.
So 2 yards short of the 1st down marker with 9:58 left here in the first, and it will be 4th and 2, and they'll bring the punt unit on the field, and back to receive is the Pioneers around their own 47. Preston Kemp back to receive a low kick that bounces past the 50, picked up by Kemp. He loses it and able to jump on it. Almost lost it, had to fall on it at the 46, and that's where Providence will start.
Yeah, well, that was one of those, discretion was the better part of valor. That ball's bouncing around like that. The funny part about football is that ball doesn't bounce right back up to you, John. It's going to take some funny bounces. So when it's rolling around on the ground like that, best thing you can do is step away from it and not worry about it. That ball wasn't going to go any further than another yard or 2.
So here's Carter Land, who 5'8", 165 senior. He'll bring the offense out and work from the gun on 1st down. Empty backfield, 2 receivers to the left and 3 to the right. It's interesting to see they go like this. Now they will bring a man in the backfield here on 1st down from the 46.
They want to.
And they'll hand off left side. Thomas Lynch, the ball carrier, and not much room, barely back the line of scrimmage.
That was a nice defensive play. Number 11, Cameron Gibb, 6 foot, 175-pound junior, playing his outside linebacker spot. Does a really nice job of setting the edge, making sure that ball didn't get outside. Providence has made a living out of that play this year.
Providence coming off their biggest win of the year, 78-0. Their 3rd to final game of the year under their 4th-year head coach, Dan McDonald. And they like to run the football also in a sweep, and they're going to go right side with it. And trying to get out to the hash mark and out to the sideline, and runs into the Pioneers sideline, and that will be enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, and that's speed kills. That play was well defended. Milan had players in the right spot to make the play. 31 for Milan. That's Austin Green, but they can't judge Unruh's speed, and so he just outran the defense.
Kate Unruh had 17 carries this year for 211 yards. And a throw here on 1st down. Landon trying to get out to the left. Pressure's there. He'll just have to throw it and flings it into the sideline.
Smart play on his part. You don't see that much from high school quarterbacks. Now, Landon's a 3-year starter, so he's smart enough to know, hey, you throw the ball out of bounds, live again for another play. Don't throw an interception. Don't do something silly.
Landon, who only had 2 passing attempts last week, they went that big lead and that big win. They went 3 quarterbacks in that ball game, and he'll line them up here and go from the 46 on 2nd down.
Yeah, he's got 14 touchdowns on the season with only 2 interceptions.
And they'll go empty backfield again here for the Pioneers as they're moving on their first drive of the ball game. Screen out left side, breaking away, got a hole, and has enough for the 1st down as they'll move it down to about the 35-yard line.
And that's Preston Kemp, the backup quarterback. Again, another example of how speed kills, John. That, again, Milan had that well defended, but the speed of the Providence players broke the play open.
Preston Kemp who had a good game passing last week, got into that big win, threw for a touchdown here. He gets the first down, and they're going to go left to Kruger again, and he'll have about 5-6 as he keeps the drive moving towards the Milan sideline. We run under about 8 minutes in this first quarter. Indians had to kick it away, didn't get a first down, got a 3-and-out by that Pioneer defense, and Providence moving it inside Milan territory right now. They'll have it marked at the 27, and they're going to go right side with it, and breaking away, got a hold of the 20, 15,
That's
10,
6.
and a touchdown Pioneers. All the way to the house. No question about it. Kate Unruh scores, and he'll give an early lead for this Providence offense.
See, John, we're talking about speed and skill players. Again, Milan, I hate to keep harping on this, Milan's got people in the right position, but it's hard to practice against speed. And you can't really judge the speed until you get in the game.
Unruh's 4th touchdown on the year. Jackson Rovell will come in and put the ball through on the placement, and the extra point is up and through. After about 4 minutes of play, it's a 7-0 Providence lead as we'll take a break on this Friday night and have more action on Glycod in a moment.
American Bank. Our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank. Member FDIC.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
Clarksville, Indiana, on this beautiful late September night after a 3-and-out by the Pioneers defense. They get the ball, drive it right down the field, and take a 7-0 lead. And, Coach, what you see on that first drive?
Well, the same thing we just talked about is Providence's formations tell you what they're going to do. You have a good defensive team that's in the right position, but you don't have the speed to contain the Providence players.
Kicked off here and taken at the 20-yard line, going right side towards the Indians bench, past the 40, and a great return again after a flag on the first one. They'll start out past the 40 here for the Milan offense.
Well, let's hope now that Milan's kind of got a feel of what Providence's defense is like, and they'll have much, much better field position than they had the first time.
It's a Milan team that, as we mentioned, loves to run the football, and you know you're going to run it, as this Pioneers defense does. How do you play that offensively?
Well, offensively, you keep pounding it away and getting your 3, 4, and 5 yards, and then wait till they suck up their secondary and then pop them with a play-action pass. Keep them honest.
They'll have the big bodies in on first down here as they'll start from the 42-yard line and hand up the gut goes the ball carrier and maybe out to the 45, mark at the 46 for a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, this is a nice little tricky inside handoff, and I tell you, the guy that messed up that play for Milan was number 55, Griffin Tucker, who just kind of ran into the ball carrier. I'm not sure he knew the ball carrier had the ball, but the ball carrier ran right into him. There's a nifty little inside handoff. Again, the offense that Milan is running is called the Delaware Wing T. A lot of motion, a lot of misdirection.
When you have 3 backs in there like that, you don't see that every day in high school and college football.
No, you really don't.
And we got a whistle down before the second down play. Austin Green carried for the first down on the first play. He had 20 carries on this year and has ran the ball a lot. Both Green butters we mentioned on the first drive, Mason Green and Austin Green, and we got a flag here on the Pioneers. Is going to give him a free 5 yards.
Yeah, Mason Green, unfortunately for Mason, the senior, he's injured and will not be playing tonight. So that hurts the Milan offense. Coach said that he will be back before the season's over with, but just not tonight. 2nd and 2.
So they'll move it inside Providence territory at the 49-yard line. And they'll shift the offensive line. a couple guys in motion.
Looks like they're going right. Quarterback sweep. Right. No. Pass.
Marsh going to throw. He's got time. Heaving it left side. Got a man open at the 15, and he'll walk in close and just marked out at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it wasn't a walk-in. If he slowed down.
Jeremiah Johnson on the reception.
Yeah, that was a great pass play and a nice route, the young man, but a nice pass. Wasn't that a nice pass he threw?
48 yards all the way down to the 1 in 1st and goal, and he had plenty of time in that pocket.
Yeah, and Wyatt Small actually saved that touchdown. Now we'll see if it holds up. But you can't slow up against Providence because Providence is not going to slow up.
Johnson has 3 touchdowns on the year, only 5'11", but right there was wide open.
Yeah.
And they'll put the big bodies in here, only needing a yard to try to tie this game up with 7:15 left in the first. And up the middle, keeping it here is Marsh, the QB. Sneaking, he's in there for the score.
Easiest play in football, John. Quarterback sneak. And I don't understand why you don't see more teams do the easiest play. You bring the linemen in foot to foot. They do what's called wedge blocking, where the center's the point and the guards are part of the triangle, and the tackles become part of the triangle, and you just wedge it into the end zone. It's the easiest play in football, but you don't see many teams do it anymore.
Coach, it's about 1 in 10 times it doesn't work. The extra point is a low boot, but up and through, and we're tied at 7 with 7:11 in this first quarter. And, Coach, just take me through how the Pioneers' defense has to respond, and that was just a very good drive put together.
Well, again, we talked to Pioneers expect them to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. Milan's going to run the ball. Milan's going to run the ball. And you've got to keep them off balance a little bit. And if you have the threat of a long pass, now, rest of this quarter, rest of this game, Providence's defensive backs aren't going to be so quick coming up to make tackles. They've just gotten beat on a long pass. I'm not sure, Jeff, if we've seen, Jeff is our producer, I don't think, Jeff, we've seen anybody do that to Providence this year.
And it's been a team that two very good coaches. Both coaches have been around a long time, as Ryan Langferman in his 16th year with this Milan team, as they just went down and scored. And you talk about Dan McDonald, he's done everything successful in his 4 years here, as alongside Jep Cooper and Coach Kaz. I'm John Baldridge. 7-7, 7:11 to play here in the first, and the Indians will kick it back off to the Pioneers. You expect to see more of what we saw, some in-around plays and running the ball, but they'll kick off here to Kemp again. He'll try to break away, get out to the 35, but going backwards towards the 20. Finds a hole, though, down the sideline, past the 35, the 40, to the 50, and all the way in to Indians territory, down to the 46.
We got 2 flags down on the 20, about the 22-yard line, John. I think that's going to get called back.
Well, he was going back and forth, wiggling and wraggling around, but it looks like this one will be brought back.
And you see that so often when a ball carrier is indecisive on what he's doing, and he runs right and he runs left, and then he dodges back and veers this way. And in the meantime, people are trying to block for him, and defenders are running, and pretty soon you're going to get a block in the back. You're going to get a clip. You're going to get a hold. Something's going to happen. The ball carrier, if he just run forward, would be much better off.
So, as we saw on the first drive by Milan, same thing here on the second drive for the Pioneers, as they're backed up after the penalty and all the way at their 14-yard line. And they'll start with a couple receivers lined up to the left.
All right. Yep, here he comes.
And hand it off right side, pushing up his way, pass about the 20, give him about 6, make it 7 on first down on the ball carrier there by Kruer.
Yeah, he's a tough runner. He's a hard runner. One man is not going to bring down Luke Kruer, I can tell you that. He's a hard runner. Nice job by pulling guard. Again, we've seen Providence so many times, I'm pretty much calling their plays for them. But their offensive guards and tackles that do their pulling are doing a magnificent job for them. Excuse me.
Kruer's 195, and you can see the time he's put in the weight room this season. It's
tough, hard runner.
They'll give him 7, 2nd and 3. They're going to run a little reverse here, going left side with it and keeping it there is Unruh, and he'll have close to that first down marker.
You know the weird thing about that play is counted as a pass. That's a pass play. because he threw the ball forward. It's a pass play.
Well, you know Carter Lane and the QB coach is really happy with that right now. Well, they will give him the first down, just enough to get there, and they'll move the chains all the way up to the 24, 1st and 10.
So Milan runs what I call it's a 4-2 defense, and you don't see that very often. There's a nice tackle there.
Brewer tried to sneak out right side again, but this time wrapped up, and a nice play by that defensive end.
That was Austin Green, I believe it was, 31, making that tackle.
They'll mark it about maybe half a yard. It will be second and about 9.5 coming up.
And you can see how well coached and how well prepared Milan is, because they're picking up on what Providence is doing. Here's going to be, watch for the quick screen over here on the left side.
Second down, time here for Lane. Even deep, the lefty's going to hang it up there and trying to bring it in at the 20, about the 46-yard line, was unable to do the tight end, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, Nolan Finnegan's got good range for a big tight end. He's got pretty good range. Actually, that was Brian Wall. Brian Wall was a slot back, not the tight end.
Had him out there, couldn't get him, and it was incomplete, and they'll send here with an empty backfield on 3rd down and 10 from the 24.
Watch for a quarterback draw.
3rd down, pressure. They're going to throw a screen over to the left side, and Unruh trying to get to that 1st down marker. He's going to be close, but a couple yards short.
Now, I wonder, did you see how fearless Unruh is? He's a 150-pounder running around out there, and he's fearless. I mean, he just put his shoulder down and ran into the 2 tacklers.
And he had looked like only 8.5, but when he lowered that shoulder, got him an extra yard. It's 4th and 1, and they are going to punt the football here.
Yeah, that's
so
might want to watch for a fake here.
They'll bring out the punt unit.
Coach McDonald's not beyond running a little trickeration.
And Milan's back to receive at about their 28-yard line.
Trick play.
It is a trick up the middle, pushing forward. It's going to be close, and it's right at the sticks. They say they got the 1st down.
You know, this is like last week, Jeff. You weren't working the game, but I made a comment. You never see referees come out, bring the change out to mark the ball anymore. You notice that? They do not come out to mark the ball. And I don't know if that's a change in the rules, a change of philosophy, change of just let's get the game moving. But it is interesting.
Maurice Warshaw is our head official tonight, and they moved the sticks and got the 1st down on back-to-back 1st downs on this drive all the way to the 35 as we run under 4 minutes here in this first quarter of play. 7-7 is our score. If you're just joining us, the second drive put together by the Pioneers, and looks like we have some confusion, and we have a timeout called, the first of the evening by the Pioneers, as Providence and Milan tied at 7. We'll take a break, have more to come here in a moment on Glycott.
Is what excellence in construction looks like. It's a startup company that launched in 1980 under the leadership of a husband and wife team who had a vision for growing something great, the American dream. It's 2 sons who have worked hard and earned the opportunity to carry on the legacy from the ground up. It's nearly 300 employees with common culture and commitment to construction. Some of the region's most visible and ambitious projects with the same heart, passion, and drive. It's our experience, our innovation, our reputation, and core values that set us apart. Mack Construction. This is what excellence looks like.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
From Southern Indiana, 7-7 game here as we welcome you back on Glycod's presentation of high school football. 3:55 left here in the first quarter. 1st down after the fake punt by the Pioneers. So they'll throw a quick pass out left side, and that's Kruer, and he'll have about 6 yards on 1st down.
And, you know, John, Providence does so many things so well. And little things, attention to detail, things that a coach would see. Where Unruh makes that catch, he turns, he's tackled, but what he does is the first thing he does is secure the ball, and he holds the ball inside.
Sweep out left side, got a hole here. Brewer past the 45, and no, mark it at the 46, but moves it in to Indian territory and move the sticks again, another first down. What a little sweep. I mean, how do you play for that? You got Brewer, then you throw in Unruh, and it's hard to mismatch that.
Well, it is, but you have strength and power against speed. You just got to get your corners, you got to get your ends, you got to get your outside linebackers coming up and playing hard.
First down at the 46.
Inside.
They're going to hand off again, and not much room. The ball carrier there was Thomas Lynch, the senior, maybe a yard or two on first down. It looks like we're going to have long drives here tonight, Coach, and that's got to play an effect on teams that have a lot of guys that play both ways on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, and for some reason, the defensive players get tired quicker than offensive players, and they really shouldn't. They're playing the same amount of plays.
Landon going to sweep out again here. Brewer's going to have the first down. He'll got to keep his feet moving past the 35 to the 34, and they'll move the sticks again. And I think maybe it's because the guys on offense get to do a little scoring, and they want to get in there a little more.
Well, and this is going to be a game of long scoring drives. And the Providence lineman does a really nice job of hooking up to the Milan defensive lineman and holding his block. Milan defensive lineman needs to do a better job of disengaging from that block to help make that play.
So they'll give him 10 on the last play, down to the 34, and up the hill goes again. Here is Thomas Lynch. He's at the 10, down to the 5. Is he in? It's going to be close. Touchdown, Providence. Thomas Lynch all the way to the house. 34 yards, back-to-back scores, and they're back on top.
Yeah, and he does a nice job finding that hole, kind of stutter-stepped a little bit, put his foot in the ground, accelerated. Once the hole developed, he accelerated through there. Milan didn't have a chance to catch him.
Partner, if you love high-scoring and offensive-sided football right now, you're going to love this in Clarksville, Indiana.
Yep, this is good football.
Extra point here by Charlie Scott is up, and it is through, and it's a 14-7 game. And we'll take a break as we have more to come. 2:13 left here in this first quarter. We'll take a timeout, be back in a moment on Glycott.
American Bank. Our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank. Member FDIC.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
After a 3-and-out to start here in Clarksville, Providence goes down and scores. Milan comes back, gets their own, and Providence a 34-yard touchdown run there by Thomas Lynch. They are on top 14-7 with 2:13 left here in this first half, and a low kick. It's a squib out towards the 35 and rolled and laid on top of by the Indians at the 33, and they'll have another good field position to start here, Coach, on their third drive of the day.
That was interesting. Of course, the last 2 kicks have resulted in long runs for Milan, so I guess Coach Mack said, no more of that. We'll just squib it down there, do a little half pooch kick and see what happens. But Milan's got good field position. They're starting on the 33-yard line. That's a good starting position for them.
Langfordman, the head coach in his 16th year for this Milan team. He saw the offense. You have to pass the ball a little bit here against this Pioneers team, and that's what he did on the last drive.
If you're not passing at all, you're going to be facing, you'll see right now, they're facing an 8-man front. And
we got a guy just getting back on the defensive side of the ball. Marsh going to hand off on first down up the middle. Goes Jeremiah Johnson. He'll have about 2 as he's hit hard there and bottled up.
Luke Kruer stepped up from his linebacker spot, making a nice play.
They'll give him up to the 35, 2nd and 8, under 2 minutes here in this first quarter as the Indians going to huddle up.
And they would be smart to use as much of that play clock as they possibly could to shorten the game as much as they can, but they need to make some first downs.
And that's correct. Just take the time. It looks like we're going to have long drives in this ball game, so take your time offensively. They're going to go up the middle here, give it to the big fullback, pushing forward. It was just a little quick handoff and right up the gut. Goes for the first down for the Indians.
Logan Burton is the sub now for Mason Green. Again, I don't know if you noticed how much misdirection there was in that play. It was a simple handoff forward, but there were so many other things happening. Everybody on defense has got to play their position, and don't be concerned about all the other eye candy that's happening over there. Play your spot and make your tackle.
Is that a thing as a defensive tackle? You worry about the A gap, the right up the gut, more than the B gap and the C gap?
If that happens to be your responsibility, that's what you worry about. The linebacker, if you got the A gap, the linebacker will take the B gap.
And we got a whistle down before the first down play, and it looks like it's going to be offsides again here for the second time tonight in this first quarter on the Pioneers. And we'll get a ruling by the officials out there.
Yeah, I think they're calling procedure against Milan.
And we got a false start. Yep, this is going to be on the offense, so pushing back 5 yards, back to the 41-yard line.
Again, something that Milan didn't need. They don't need to be behind the change. 1st and 15 is not in their game plan.
It's a good crowd here tonight as it's homecoming night.
Yes, it is homecoming. We'll talk about homecoming at halftime.
Alongside a beautiful press box here, John Baldridge on call on Glide Cod with Coach Kaz and Jeff Cooper on our producing side. The throw right side here by Marsh and got his man up to about the 50-yard line.
Milan has to do that. Milan has to be able to throw the ball. They have to be able to loosen up the Providence defense. They can't expect to be successful against Providence when Providence is playing an 8-man front. So you've got to be able to throw the ball. You've got to keep those secondary and linebackers busy thinking about pass plays.
That was Burton again out of the backfield last time. This one catches one in the flat. And with 21 seconds left here in this first quarter, Milan trying to come back and tie this thing up as they have it 2nd and 6. And up the gut they go again. And it's going to be about 2-3 yards short of that first down. And that'll probably be the last play of the first quarter, and it will be 3rd down and short coming up for the Indians offense as we'll switch sides, and a 14-7 game with Providence on top here at home as we'll take a break and have second quarter action next on Glide Cod.
This second shift, this old pair of pants, this staycation, this brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
The only name you need to know for all your auto repair needs is Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Sure, our name might be hard to say, but we can fix everything no one else wants to fix. Big or small, we can do it all. Foreign or domestic, if it needs repair, Voinier's can handle the job. The only thing high-tech about us is what we do, and we're upfront with you and we'll do the job right. One thing we have to sell is our time, and we won't waste yours. Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Family owned since 1981. Call us for all of your auto repair needs.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glide Cod.
Along Jim Kazmarek and our producer tonight, Jeff Cooper. My name is John Baldridge here on Glide Cod as we start the second quarter. 3rd down and 3 coming up from the 47 on the 3rd drive of the day, trying to tie it up for the Indians. And Milan gonna send a man out left side, but gonna run up the gut, try to go right side, and he's stopped. Bottled up in the backfield by that defensive outline for the Pioneers, and 4th down.
And that guy that tackled everybody was Cooper Ross, and Cooper just tackled like 3 people and kept throwing them out until he found the guy with the ball. He's a strong middle linebacker. Cooper Ross, 5'10", 190-pound junior. He started at that middle linebacker spot for Providence all year long. Just did a good job reading the play.
Ross already 30 tackles on the year. 20 solo, has one right there.
Yeah.
Lose 2, 4th and 5, all the way back to the 49. They're going to hurry up here and keep the offense on the field. Will they snap it? We'll see if they do. I don't believe they will, and they're going to call a timeout.
Those kind of, we used to call them the no-play play, where you try to draw a team offside by a hard count, don't work very well against Providence because they're so well disciplined on what they're doing, and they very seldom are going to jump offside.
As that will be the first time out of the night for Milan. Providence used one earlier. As the sun's setting on this late September evening, temperatures were in the 80 on our pregame show, dropping around 65 or so tonight, but beautiful weather conditions.
Beautiful. You know, I was watching over here, just as a quick aside, Brother Adam, and I think that's what his name is, Brother Adam, he's got a nice little German Shepherd out here running around catching Frisbees. It looks like Rin Tin Tin, actually, which reminds me of a real quick story. When I was coaching in North Carolina, the team we had was called the Patriots, and they decided it was going to be a good idea to have a Patriot riding a horse down the field before the game, leading the team out of the huddle, and the horse laid his horse apples all along the football field, which delayed the start of the game about a half an hour because we had to clean everything up.
Well, when you said you had a story, I knew it was going somewhere.
Oh,
pass thrown on 4th down. He had his man, but incomplete as Marsh tried to fling it in there, and it will be a turnover on downs.
Yeah. That's a good stand by Providence team. That 5-yard penalty hurt them again. They were able to pick up some of it on first down and second and third, and that 4th down incomplete pass.
Do you think the scoring margin difference for Providence this year, having 340 points scored, only giving up 38, played an effect in going for it there early in the second quarter?
No, against them, what Coach Langerfin knows is that Providence has so many weapons, and they're so dangerous in so many different ways that I need to limit the number of times they have the ball. So if I punt it to them, they're going to get the ball on the 25. But if I can make this first down, that's one less time they're going to have the football.
Up the gut on first down for a 2-yard pickup. 2nd and 8 as they'll push inside Indian territory now down to the 49. Providence takes the snap, going left side here, and has a hole, but wrapped up from behind, and a good tackle there. And that will bring up 3rd down. That was Ethan Pierce on the tackle, has got him on the backside. And they'll give him a 5-yard pickup, be 3rd and 4 up to the 45.
So we're going to look for, they won't do it now. I was going to say we're going to look for a quick screen, but.
You've seen Lynch. Here's Kruer, though, and Luke Kruer tries to go left side, and he's stopped short of the first down marker on 3rd down.
Ethan Pierce again, another nice tackle. That's 2 individual tackles in a row for Ethan Pierce coming from his middle linebacker spot. Milan runs a kind of an old school defense, too. What we used to run it when I was coaching. It's called a 4-2, 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers. Then you have 5 kind of defensive backs that you can rotate around. So you got 5 real good skill people in there.
So no hesitation here for Daniel McDonald. He'll go for it on 4th down. He'll hand off, try to go right side, and tripped up and not able barely to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that will be turnover on downs and right back to the Indians offense.
And Zane Richardson, defensive tackle for Milan, just over-penetrates and stops that play before it even gets started. Great play by Zane Richardson. And I like that name, too, Zane. He could be on our all-name team.
Well, if there was such a thing.
We have an all-name team. We do. Coach K has all-name team.
Well, partner.
We accumulate them as the season goes on. Right, Jeff?
If you want to shoot me an email at the end of the year and tell me who made the all-name team, I think your name has to be on there.
No.
From the 46, we flip balls, and the offense comes back out here for the Indians, and they'll go up the gut again on first down, as we've seen a lot of running both ways, maybe about 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
Lucas Thomas for Providence again. They're just, this is 2023. But if I opened my eyes and didn't know any better watching these two teams the way they're playing right now, I would think this is like 1973. This is just like really, really old school football, and I love it actually.
Well, it's all field position.
I'm waiting for him to run the triple option, Jeff.
It's all field position right now. It's close to midfield at the 48 with 8:56 left here in the second. A man out to the right. And they'll send a man in motion. They're going to keep it, though, here with the QB, and he'll throw a high pass. Is it backwards?
That's a
they
backward
don't know.
Pass.
And Providence figures it out finally. They fall on top of it. They're going to walk close to out of the 10, staying on his feet to the 3, down to the 2. And what a mistake. What a turn of events right there for the Providence team.
That play from the get-go was destined to be a problem for Milan. There was nothing good about that play. It looked like the backs went the wrong way. The quarterback turned the wrong way. I think it was supposed to be some kind of swing pass, but like I say, there was nothing in that play that made me think it was going to be successful.
And that's what you call a door opener.
Yeah,
something that changes events right there.
Yes, it does.
Wyatt Small finally figured it out, went and picked it up. And the senior has it first and goal back for the Pioneers offense.
Yeah, Wyatt's a senior player who's seen a lot of things, and he's I'll take that back. Wyatt's only a junior, so he's coming back. So very alert on his part and well coached to know that was a backward pass.
So at the 2-yard line, up the middle, keeping it here is the quarterback, and is he in?
Carter.
And I believe he was.
See, another old-school quarterback sneak. I love it.
Carter Land is second of the evening, and it's a 27 game now here with 8:32 left in the second.
Carter Land with a quarterback sneak. Now, you know something else we hadn't talked about that has to be factored in when you're playing? Milan has a 2-hour bus ride coming down here to play this game. It's always difficult. Charlie Scott with another kick. Charlie Scott now has 37 out of 40 kicks. And real quick aside, and I'll finish my other story. Real quick aside, if you've noticed, some of the kids on the sideline have green T-shirts. Some of the players had some green T-shirts. A lot of the fans down below us have green T-shirts. Charlie Scott's brother, Evan, is suffering from a severe cancer. And they're kind of honoring and dedicating this game to Evan. So, Evan, our prayers and wishes are with you and your family, Charlie, and we hope you get well.
Yes, we do. It's a 21-7 game after a turn of events with Providence on top. And we're going to stay here with 8:32 left in the second. And Pioneers about to kick it away and give the ball back here to the Indians.
Yeah, sometimes on that long trip, John, it takes a while for the team to get their legs under them, to get, this is not a home game for them, a long trip. That factors in the high school football games. What time did they leave school? When did they eat lunch? Were they able to stop for dinner? What time did they have dinner? I mean, all those things are a factor.
You always talk about the keys to the game, but turning the ball over has to be the biggest one. And right there it was.
Turnovers are always.
Kicked off here, in and out of the hands of one of the return men, but taken back by the Indians. And Milan up past the 30 to close to the 35 and wrapped up there. They'll start at around the 33-yard line.
Lucas Mock. Number 11, Lucas Mock, does a nice job of covering. 5'8", 150-pound sophomore, does a nice job of covering.
See if we have any lights in this place.
No, we don't.
Well, that's all right. We'll keep our 2020 vision together.
No, we don't. That's why I'm writing real dark black ink in big crayons.
So they'll make it actually the 34, as that's where Milan will start, as we have some officials meeting out there trying to clear something up.
Penalty on somebody.
They've had
it's on Providence.
Already 2 penalties on kickoffs, and here's the third one of the night. And this looks like they may have to re-kick. And I believe they will.
Was it offside?
This is on the kicking team.
Offside on the kicking team.
So at the 40, they'll push it back to the 40, and that's why I guess where they will kick off, and we'll redo it.
So Gabriel Bermudez is the kickoff kicker for Providence. Charlie Scott is the extra point field goal kicker. You know, one of the loneliest people on Providence's team, and I don't know if he's going to get enough quarters to earn his letter, is the punter.
Why do you think they do that, have a different guy for kickoffs compared to extra points and field goals?
I have no idea.
Well, they do it here in Providence.
I was lucky when I coached to have one.
That's nice. Kicked off to the 20, taken back by the Indians and stopped right around the 27.
That's Cade Unruh. See, he's a senior, and you wouldn't think, well, he's a senior who's playing both ways. Why do I have to be on the kickoff team? He's on the kickoff team because he loves contact. He wants to hit people. I mean, he's a football player, and that's what I don't want to sit on the bench. I want to be on the field playing.
Makes a nice play right there. And the Indians are going to have to set their focus back in after turning the ball over on the last drive. Down 2 scores now. And they'll
Providence loosening up their defense a little bit. You notice that?
Set with 3 receivers up the middle goes the ball carrier, though, for the Indians, and not much on first down.
Yeah, Nolan Finnegan and
Finnegan,
Eli
the senior
Theobald
on this team, and Theobald also
both
right
seniors,
there.
Both seniors. And you haven't worked the Providence game, but when I coached against Providence, they had Theobalds on their team back in the 80s. Then when I was doing this, they had Theobalds on their team. You couldn't have a Providence game if you didn't have a Theobald playing.
And we got a Theobald also up there running the camera for us tonight.
That's right.
Joey Theobald.
Yep.
So
you got to have a Theobald on the field in Providence game.
We thank him for doing that, and it's second down coming up here as a throw going to be left side, dumped off by Marsh, and going to be close to that first down marker, third and short coming.
That's a nice little waggle play there, a little fake run right, fake run left, and quarterback keeper right. Finnegan does a nice job containing the quarterback, but quarterback does a nice job of dumping the ball off. And that's a tough play to defend because the receiver's coming from all the way across the field, and that corner at number 8, Theobald, doesn't see him until he's caught the ball.
That was Ethan Marsh, who's had a nice couple plays on defensive side of the ball tonight for Milan, and he'll have the first down as they do move the sticks up to the 37, and it's 1st and 10. 3 receivers out, running back next, the quarterback, and they'll send a man in motion, and Marsh going to set with the offensive line and going to fake a handoff, and he'll go up the middle and doesn't have much, maybe a yard and a half.
Yeah, Griffin Tucker, number 55, Griffin Tucker, 6'2", 245, a junior, just wrapped that play up. He saw that coming. The quarterback was riding that running back, and that's kind of an old school option type of thing where the quarterback is riding the running back, and he's looking at that defensive end, and he's watching that defensive end, and that defensive end just stood there and say, I'm not going to let you make a decision. You make the decision, and I'm going to come and tackle you.
Well, Marsh, only a sophomore, trying to have experience with this team and has led this team to a 4-2 start on the year. He'll throw on second down, and he'll dump it off left side out past the 42, make it the 43 into the Indians bench, and it will be second down.
Yeah, Logan Burton.
It's going to be third down upcoming as they'll give him 4 yards there.
You know, again, that's a nice little play. Again, you throw a 1-yard pass, you run it for 3 more. You got 4 yards. You're in playable 3rd and 5 situation. But you also notice Milan's kind of changed their offense right now. They're behind. Coach, we need to catch up. How are we going to do it? We're going to have to put the ball in the air. We're going to have to loosen Providence defense up.
They need to get to the 47. They have it at the 43 right now. 3rd and 4, but a whistle down before the 3rd down play.
Milan wasn't set. It's got to be a procedure penalty.
We've seen a lot of guys jumping off sides offensively and defensively through the first 2 quarters of this ball game. And we'll take a break with 6:26 left here in the second. It's a 21-7 game as we'll take a timeout here on Glycom.
Skyline for me is like my second home. So I started off at drive-thru, and then the next thing I know I was serving full-time. My favorite regulars are always the ones with the kids. We're just laughing, talking, catching up on whatever's going on in our lives. Sometimes when I'm working the drive-thru, I'll hear a specific voice, and I know exactly who it is. When they pull around, I'm so excited to see them, and they're just as happy to see me. Skyline is more than just a restaurant to me. It's a fun place to work, and it's a fun place to eat.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
(21-7), a third down upcoming here for the Milan offense. Looked like we were going to have a penalty, but they got the timeout first for the Indians, their second of the evening in this first half. And with 6:26 left in the second quarter of play, 3rd and 4 coming here. Need to get to the 47, have it at the 43. And Marsh going to line them up from the gun. And he'll hand off up the middle again, close, moving his feet, keeping his steps going, has the first down.
Yeah, that was a good play. That was Green.
Austin Green gets to the 49, give him 5, and that will move the sticks.
Yeah, he made that on extra effort. He was stopped. He was stopped early. Kept those legs rolling. Yeah, good job. Good job on the left side of Milan. The offensive line, Landon Staley and Mason Johnson doesn't do a nice job, along with the center, Trenton Langferman, the coach's son.
How much does it, having veteran running backs, veteran receivers, help a sophomore quarterback?
Well, it's like having coach on the field.
Throwing here is the sophomore quarterback, and Marsh has a man open past the 40, down past the 35, keeping his feet moving to the 30, the 25, and all the way close to the red zone. And you can move the sticks again on first down for Milan.
Yeah, Dylan Awful. That was a good question, by the way. With a sophomore quarterback, you really don't want to put a lot of responsibility. Now, 6 games into the season, he's no longer a sophomore. He's pretty well seasoned. He's gone through 6 tough games. But your senior players act as a coach on the field and keep him settled down.
As you mentioned, the 2-hour bus trip down the road here for Milan still brings in some family members and parents on this Friday night, as handing off here in Providence in Clarksville, Ohio, and Clarksville, Indiana, is up the middle on first down and not much room.
No, not much room because Griffin Tucker blew that play up again. That's twice now they've tried to run that quarterback option play, RPO. I'm not sure exactly what Milan's trying to do on it, but it's like a quarterback ride, read option, and Tucker Griffin is just blowing that play up. Somebody has to block him.
He'll say he actually lost one, so back to the 25. It's 2nd and 11 upcoming.
Uh-oh. Our page, we just had some wind blow through, and all of our pages are flying around.
Like Bartner, 2nd and 11, up the middle here goes the ball carrier, going right side, keeping his feet moving. I believe that was Jeremiah Johnson, and it'll be 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, Lucas Thomas on the tackle, along with Eli Theobald again.
And you're starting to see that effect on both offenses and defenses. Longer time in the huddles, taking your time to get the play you want and get those legs back underneath you.
Take as much time as you can, run as much clock out as you can.
It's like an old Army-Navy game, back and forth, battle of the...
Now it really is. They're in a straight T with 2 tight ends. This is back to Woody Hayes' 1968 football. And this is great. I love it. That's one of the really good things. Are we on break?
We got to take a break at the gridiron in the battle of inches. It's a 21-7 game. 4:25 left here on Glycod in the first half with Milan driving.
I'm your cat. And ever since you brought me home that day, I've been plotting to destroy you. This is 1 billion years of tiger DNA just ready to pounce. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, you could be coughing up the cash for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like meow.
Contact Floyd Snobbs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page for a quote today.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
In Clarksville, Indiana, it's a 21-7 Providence lead over top of Milan. As the Indians are moving it, they have a 3rd down upcoming, though. Have it at the 21. 3rd and 7, need to get down to about the 14-yard line. They have a big bunch in there, Coach, on third down, and going to keep it here and going to throw it to the end zone. Back corner, heaved up there, and felling down was a defensive back for Providence, but the short pass incomplete, thrown by Wyatt Marsh.
Well, and the quarterback, Wyatt, he's going to be a good quarterback, but he has to learn, he has to step into those passes. You can't step away. You can't short arm. You can't step away. It's a matter of you have to step into those passes, and that pass was short because he didn't step into it.
Marsh, that only the sophomore as we talked about, and no worry here. They're going to go for it for the second time tonight.
Yeah.
At the 21, right outside the red zone.
Marsh actually had the short receiver, the back coming out of the backfield. He had him open also.
Fourth down. A big play upcoming, trying to get off the field is Providence. Milan trying to stay in the ball game in this first half. Marsh throwing, pressure comes, got his man, got the first down, right close to sticks. It is just enough. Needed 7, barely got 8, and that will move the chains.
Smart play by the receiver, though. He knew where the chains were. He knew he had to get 7, so I'm going to go to 8. I'm going to go to 9. I'm going to come back to the ball to 8 and make a heck of a play.
That was the junior Dylan Offill.
He's had a big game. He's had a couple nice catches and a couple good runs.
Was just right open in the flat. Marsh found him and moves the sticks down to the 12-yard line as we run under 4 minutes here in this first half of play.
Yeah, this is really a big series for Milan. They to stay in this game, they really need to score here.
First down upcoming.
Back in the shotgun. 3 wide.
The offensive line has done a good job tonight, and they're going to run on first down up the seam towards the end zone. Is he in? Yes, sir. Touchdown Milan, their second of the evening, back to a one-score game.
Yeah, Trenton Langferman, Joaquin Allen, Kyle Gotts.
Into the house there was Austin Green.
Landon Staley, all those players did a great job blocking there. That was a good example of that read option, that full belly play, whatever you want to call it, working up.
The junior was able to put it in, but the extra point is muffed. Running around here is the holder. He's going to go left side. Does he have enough room? He's going to get a block out of block by his kicker, but he fell down. He ran about 30 yards just to get 2.5 and wasn't able to get there.
Yeah, the turf monster. We call that guy the turf monster. That there's a turf guy that lives underneath the turf. And every once in a while he'll reach his hand up and grab an ankle as it comes by. That's a turf monster.
And that extra 1 yard you see in high school football on the extra points, not from the 2, from the 3, really played an effect right there.
Yeah, right. And the young man did a wonderful job on a bad snap of scrambling around and trying to find an open receiver, scrambling, running, had an opening, and like I say, the turf monster just got to him.
And the sloppy plays, the turnovers, the mistakes, as we've seen earlier, with Providence set them up for their third touchdown, and right there in the extra point could come back and really bite you later in a 13-21 game now as the Pioneers up top, and they're going to get the ball back with 3 and change left here in this first half.
Now, this is interesting. Now we want to see how Providence responds to that. In the past, anybody that's gotten close, I'll use the Charlestown game as a good example, where they got close to Providence put their foot in the accelerator and went 2-3 touchdowns. So let's see how Providence reacts to this, and they're expecting Milan to do an onside kick.
Coach, this is when you put that 4-minute drive together you've been working off all summer into the fall, and right now you figure out how you want to play that. And with a team that likes to run the ball a lot, I think you have to pass it a little bit more on this 4-minute drive.
Well, and Milan did a nice job of throwing a few passes in there on their runs. Providence is equally adept at running and passing. So.
Kicked off here. A low boot again. This one is going to be close to being able to save by Milan on the onside. It looks like he was trying to get over there, but it will roll out of bounds.
Boy, I got to tell you,
good hustle there.
Providence was really lucky that ball went out of bounds. Milan had one player running right down the sideline, and right at the last minute he dove and almost batted that ball back in the play, and Milan would have ended up getting a inadvertent onside kick recovery, but the ball, one last bounce, rolled out of bounds.
That's something hard to practice for. I mean, a wobbly kick, not great. I mean, you practice for the onside kick, but there it looked like you're going to kick it off normal, and then it rolls in almost a chance to get back on top of it for the Indians.
Yep. So Providence gets good field position as a result of that.
And they'll start from their 38-yard line. And we got a whistle before first down, and looks like the official will come out and readjust the football.
Well, he wasn't ready. The referee wasn't ready because he had to go back and get his flag. So all the referee buddies were ready to start to play, and they looked around, and the main man in the white hat wasn't even in his position yet.
The referees like a run game, don't have to go all the way down the field on the pass, but you got to also worry about throwing those flags.
Yeah, well, especially that back judge way in the back, he likes a running game.
Game, as we talked about in the pregame show, comes down to the blocking side of the ball. Throwing here, pressure comes towards the sideline, and just having to thieve it away there is Providence.
Now you see how well coached Milan is, because Providence has made a living out of what I call the wheel route, where they take Walls, he comes out, and then he turns upfield, and normally the cornerback or the safety will pick up the short receiver and let Wall run past. Milan didn't do that. Milan did a good job of picking up that wheel route and had probably seen that on film.
Carter Lanning going to set the offense up again as he'll send a man off here on 2nd down and 10. Two receivers to the left, and they're going to go right side with the back up past the 40, close to the 45-yard line. There is Luke Kruer, and it'll be 3rd down coming here for the offense for the Providence Pioneers.
Cameron Gilp makes that play, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's getting dark in here. Cameron Gibb.
We have a flag down on the last play. Came in late.
I don't know. What was that big crash we just heard? Did you hear that?
I think that was the bleachers.
Oh, the fans were stomping on the bleachers? Or
something underneath the bleachers, I believe.
Something underneath the bleachers.
And this will be holding here on the offense, and this will push the Pioneers back on 2nd down. And not what you want to do if you're Daniel McDonald in this offense. They'll whack them all the way up to the 30-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd and 24. 2 tight end set. And Lanning going to go under the center. He'll hand off. Sweep it right side. Pushing his way forward. Breaking a couple tackles out to the outside is Thomas Lynch. Maybe out to the 35, and it'll be 3rd and long.
That left side of the Milan defense. Trenton Langford, Landon Staley, and John McKeon. I'm going to say McKeon do a nice job on that play.
Wobbling off there is Preston Kemp, and throwing here on 3rd down. Pressure again, scrambling away again is Landon. He'll dump it off close. Back to that original line of scrimmage, but way short of the 1st down. Reception there by Eli Theobald, but it will be 4th down, and the punt unit will come out here with 2:24 left in this first half, and Milan going to get the football back.
You know, I got to say this, Landon Stanley really did a nice job, as did number 64, Joaquin Allen, containing the quarterback. And we're going to see Providence punter for one of the –
They faked it earlier, but this one's way over the head. Back to get it is the punter, and he'll be wrapped up. No, he'll break away past the 5, but barely gets out of the 7. And able to fall on top of it was Nick Stoner. But beautiful field position and a chance to tie this game up for the Milan offense. And, Coach, that was just way over his head.
That was McKeon. Well, we kiddingly said the loneliest person on their team is the punter. It could be their long snapper. If they're not getting reps in games, and reps in games are a lot different than reps in practice, unfortunately, that's sometimes what's going to happen.
Well, you can talk about all the keys of the game that help you, the blocking, passing, everything that matters, but the turnover game is always the most crucial thing. And right there, beautiful mistake turns into great opportunity. Up the middle, not much room, pushed back there. Good job by that defensive line by Providence.
Yeah, the whole interior defensive line does a nice job.
Austin Green was the ball carrier there.
Connor Sad, Zach Duran, and Cooper Ross again. Those guys in the middle, they're doing a fantastic job. Lucas Thomas. Providence is tough up the middle.
Back to the 11. Will be second down and goal from there. Marsh has had time in the pocket all night. He'll send 2 out to the left, 1 to the right. And he'll hand it off, though. Going left side is Green again, a flag down, and
holding.
Maybe about a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, we'll have a holding penalty on Milan. Their outside receiver just reached out and, I don't want to say tackled the cornerback, but did a pretty good job of grabbing a hold of him.
So if that's a 10-yard penalty, they'll push him back all the way to the 21-yard line. But we'll see what the official says on the field, and it is holding on the offense.
Surprised Milan didn't come around with one of their little swing passes, one of their little flat passes. That's been working for them, and it's been open. They're not going to really run sweeps against Providence's defense. Providence has got too much speed, and they're too well coached to try to get to the perimeter.
So you started at the 7 after the bad punt, and now you're all the way back to your own 20-yard line with 1:20 left here in the first half in a 21-13 game.
Yeah, Providence defense got.
And another whistle, and if you're the coaching staff of Milan right now, you cannot be happy.
Nope.
And this is going to be, again, another false start and another 5 yards lost.
Well, you really, really can't do these kind of – you talk about shooting yourself in the foot, and all of this is self-imposed right now. This is nothing that Providence has done. You're just making too many mistakes right now. You were in great position to get right back in this game.
Ryan Langferman, the head coach of the Milan squad, trying to get this team back to where they want to be. Not a great field goal unit what we've seen so far in this ballgame. We'll see if they do try to kick, but first here on second down.
Throw it.
Keeping it here, going to run with it is the QB, and Marsh not able to get much. Back to about the 19. It'll be third and very long and goal coming.
Luke Kruger comes up nice and makes a tackle.
We got third down coming up. And a play from the 19, throwing it left side. Marsh has got his man, but way short of that end zone, and it will be, we'll see what they decide to do.
Fourth down.
And no worry, Ryan Langferman's not even thinking about, no, he is going to bring the field goal unit out as the climb is going down, 10 seconds in the half. Trying to get the team out there from the 9-yard line. It's going to be about a little over a 20-yard attempt. The kick is up. It doesn't have enough. No, wobbly and left short to the left. And with no time left here in this first half, Providence survives after making a costly punt turnover and a special teams mistake, but they hang on to an 8-point lead in a 21-13 game.
They really did survive.
And we'll take a break, talk about that, give you some scores around high school football, and plenty more next on our halftime show here on Glycod.
Vaccines help fight infections. When your child gets vaccinated, their immune system will remember the vaccine and attack the germ if it ever invades their body. Physicians suggest following the recommended vaccination schedule to provide your child with the best protection against serious diseases. The Clark County Health Department reminds you to stay up to date on your vaccines. For more information, please visit clarkhealth.net. Clark County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect.
Let's be honest. You don't see Grandma nearly enough. Which means the dead car battery you've spent the morning dealing with has robbed her of precious grandkid time. It's unfortunate, sure, but it's not like she's going to write you out of her will or anything. Right? When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can.
Dr. Carter's office, Annette speaking. How may I help you?
Whether you're a new or long-time patient, you know that when you call Dr. Todd Carter, you'll be treated like family. For over 25 years, Dr. Carter's been providing quality dentistry for patients throughout Southern Indiana, from regular dental exams and cleaning to restorative and cosmetic procedures. Let their dedicated and established team take care of your family today. Call Dr. Todd Carter at 812-944-5155 or visit drtoddcarter.com.
Drug use in adolescence or early adulthood can have a serious impact on a teen's life. Teenagers who use marijuana are more likely to have lower grades, even drop out of school. They may also suffer from impaired driving, higher levels of anxiety, and depression. We all want to see the youth in our community succeed. Regardless of your stance on marijuana, we can all agree that it's not right for teens. Paid for by Drug Free Communities and Our Place. Parents want to do what's best for their children. Teenagers love a party, and often alcohol is involved at those parties. While some people think that hosting those parties in their homes will keep their kids safe, it's wrong. And it's illegal to allow your teens and their friends to consume alcohol on your property. In fact, it's a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to underage drinking. Funding in part provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health Services. For more information, go to ourplaceinc.org.
What makes a credit union different or better? As a full-service credit union for the communities we serve, Centra offers competitive rates, online convenience, and a solid network of branches and ATMs. But we think we offer something more.
They looked at me as a person, not a number.
I would say it's always been a good, personable experience, whether it's over the phone or actually at a Centra location.
And we don't just listen to our members. We deliver new services, better rates, and lower fees. Visit Centra.org to learn more.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Centra Credit Union for banking and financial services that are centered around you. Visit Centra.org.
Halftime here in Clarksville tonight as the Pioneers on top at home with a 21-13 lead over the Milan Indians. And Providence has looked very good, Coach, in this first half. But a couple sloppy turnovers at the end of the first half by Milan. Had a chance to get back in the ball game after a punt that went over the head of Providence. But back and forth offensively, ran the ball a lot. Yeah. But what's going to have to get done for both of these teams to come out here for victory?
Well, Providence has got to eliminate some of these sloppy plays they've had. And I think some of these is because they haven't had to do some of this stuff before. They've had a fairly easy way of most of the games. So now things are a little harder, and they've made some mistakes that they really haven't made this year. Coach Mack, I'm sure at halftime is going to fix that. He'll get it straightened out. He'll do what he needs to do to get the kids focusing on taking care of their business, attention to small details. Can't have a snap over the punter's head. We can't have penalties. We just can't do those things. Milan on the other side's got to feel really good. We're in this game. We're in this game against a really good team. And we've done some bad things. We've had several bad penalties that put us in a bad spot. Let's eliminate some of that. Let's play our game, and we'll come out ahead. So both teams got to feel a little wary of what's happening, but also feel very confident of what they're doing.
Do you think the mental side is playing a factor in this ball game, but is the physical side, having guys go both ways, playing a factor later in stretches?
It would if you were playing a bigger school that had players going both ways. Both teams are going to be tired. Both teams of players are going to be tired because they're both having to play players both ways. There's only, I'm going to say, a handful, 2 or 3, 4 maybe at the most, of players who are playing one offense or one defense. Most of these players have been playing both ways. They've been doing it all season. They're young kids. They're not in a union, so they're allowed to play as much as they need to play. I guarantee it, if you ask the kids, they'd rather be on the field playing than on the sideline watching.
Well, right now they're on the field doing the homecoming stuff. Even the football players are down there, and I told that you have a very good homecoming football story.
Well, yeah, I do. Homecoming was not the kindest experience for me, and I'll tell you why. I love homecoming. I think it's a great part of the high school experience. It's kind of neat to see the football players getting to be an escort. At my high school, and this goes back, I'm going to tell you, this is 1966, so that tells you how old I am, all right? So at our high school, we were the Bayview Red Cats in the City of Milwaukee Conference. You had to be represented by a football player on the team to be chosen for the homecoming queen. Okay?
Yeah.
So about a week or 2 or 3 before homecoming, this really, really sharp young lady, she looked like Allie McGraw. Now, I don't know if you remember Allie McGraw. Jeff probably would remember Allie McGraw. But this girl was Allie McGraw of high school in 1967. She was a knockout. And all of a sudden, she became very friendly to me. So I asked her if she'd like to have me represent her for the homecoming. Well, certainly. So we had gone out for maybe a date or two, just going to a movie, going to the malt shop. Is back in the day, we'd call it the malt shop. Again, I'm telling you how old I am. So it's a big homecoming thing where you go across the stage on Friday, but we played on Saturdays. You go across the stage with Allie McGraw's on my arm. I mean, I'm in high timber, man. I'm feeling really good. And so they announced the homecoming queen is not the girl I'm with. Okay, she never talked to me again. I mean, Allie McGraw was out. I was out of her league. I was out of her league to start with. But so when I see homecoming, I see all these beautiful young girls in their gowns. All I can think of is, I ever wonder what happened to that young lady, Allie McGraw, and that wasn't her name, but I just say that's what she looked like. And I was so proud, and then I was so oh my God.
Well, Coach, this first time I ever met you, you're just one of the nice, friendliest people I can see in this building tonight, and that's why you're such a kind person, and that's a very good story.
Well, it is a good story. You're right. So hopefully none of that happens to these young men and these young women. They all end up, and I'm not bitter about it or anything. I just think it was kind of funny now.
Well, you can see there's about 12 minutes left before we kick the second half off, and the night's scoreboard that you can see on your screen right now is presented by Clarks County Health Depot. Are you up to date on your immunizations? For scheduling and more information, contact them at 812-282-7521. We'll take a break. Have more to come here at halftime and a 21-13 lead with Providence on top.
Yeah. We're going to have a lot of time.
Makes a credit union different or better? As a full-service credit union for the communities we serve, Centra offers competitive rates, online convenience, and a solid network of branches and ATMs. But we think we offer something more.
They looked at me as a person, not a number.
I would say it's always been a good, personable experience, whether it's over the phone or actually at a Centra location.
And we don't just listen to our members. We deliver new services, better rates, and lower fees. Visit Centra.org to learn more.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, they might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Contact Floyd Snobbs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today.
Vaccines help fight infections. When your child gets vaccinated, their immune system will remember the vaccine and attack the germ if it ever invades their body. Physicians suggest following the recommended vaccination schedule to provide your child with the best protection against serious diseases. The Clark County Health Department reminds you to stay up to date on your vaccines. For more information, please visit clarkhealth.net. Clark County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect.
For myself, and I know Chad, like a lot of the lessons that we learned on that football field, you don't get you don't get what you deserve on the football field unless you're out there working hard for it each and every day. It's a sport that will reward you for your hard work, and there's absolutely parallels between what we learned there and what we do, here at Mike each and every day.
Programs really made some strides here recently and got some great leadership, and so obviously it takes everybody. But I would think that's represented by the team recently has voted on their team captains, and so I think it's fair to maybe mention some of them. Carter Lannon comes to mind, Brian Wall, Thomas Lynch, Luke Kruer, Cade Unruh. So those are a handful that I think the team voted on and represents a lot of what their core beliefs are. And this group has worked, and it's not just about right now. I mean, on the off season, these guys have put the hours in the gym, and I think if you see them out there, they've gotten bigger, stronger, faster, and it's definitely going to be an exciting season, and we're proud of these guys. So looking forward to it. As we kind of talked earlier, things that, quite frankly, that we've tried to incorporate here at Mike and is what we want out of future employees. So it's kind of exciting to see that parallel.
We pride ourselves as owners that we work hard to surround ourselves by people that make us better. It doesn't always have to be our decision or our aim, and it's 100% the people. The choices that we make as individuals each and every day in this business, those choices are sometimes very tough choices, and just having people that, we said it last time, Chad just said it again, but people that just do the right things for the right reasons.
This Mac Minute on Glycod is brought to you by Mac Construction. Family owned with over 40 years experience in civil construction and streetscaping. Mac Construction. Experience, reputation, solutions.
Homecoming night here at Providence High School as the Kings and Queens are down there as trying to have the big festivities, a big dance tonight, Coach, after this.
Well, hopefully Providence isn't saving anything for the dance tonight. They need to lay it all on the field tonight. This is going to be a tough game. But let's congratulate the Queen and the King. So the Queen is Camilla Adams. I believe she's the young lady in kind of the powder blue dress. And the King is our own football playing Charlie Scott, the kicker. So, and he's in his football uniform out here with the Queen. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Queen is the young lady in the purple dress. She seems to have all the flowers in the. Yes, I'm so sorry. The Queen, Camilla, she needs to practice her Queen wave.
Coach,
she should have a Queen wave.
Coach, you're doing all that grunt work up front on the offensive line and so forth. What's it like giving the kicker the King Award?
Well, I can tell you what, linemen are never going to be the King, and they're never going to have the Queen. I'm very fortunate that I have a Queen. And, I always tell people I don't gamble. I don't play the lottery. I don't go to casinos because the day my wife said yes was the day I used up all my luck. So,
well,
if she's listening, hon, I mean that too.
It's been lucky so far for this Providence offense. They've had some nice plays. Carter Lannon, 2 QB sneaks into the end zone. Thomas Lynch ran in from 31 yards out. And meanwhile, a nice play to set him up, a 31-yard pass from Wyatt Marsh to Jeremiah Johnson for their first touchdown. And Marsh was able to sneak in from 1 yard out after being placed at the 1. And then a good put together Austin Green also into the end zone to make it where we sit right now at 21-13. The big-name players are coming out big time to play tonight.
Yeah, well, this game could very easily right now be 21-20 or even 21-21. Milan had a great opportunity there with a minute and a half left in the first half off a bad snap over the punter's head. And Providence's defense stepped up. Cooper Ross made a couple nice stops. I'm really, really impressed, and I have been impressed all season with Providence's front, especially Nolan Finnegan and Griffin Tucker. They just have a real good hard-nosed defense. The secondary people are all come up and make tackles. Their linebackers are very active. They don't have to do a lot of stunting or blitzing to make plays, and their defensive tackles do a good job of holding the blockers off of the linebackers. So And there's Rin Tin Tin just sprinting across the field again.
The dogs down there having a fun night. We're having a fun night as it's a longer halftime with this homecoming going on here at Providence on Glycod. And we'll about over 5 minutes before we get the second half started. And the ticker tonight, the scores around high school football are presented by Clark County Health Department. And a score that I want to keep an eye on right now is Seymour and Jennings. At halftime, Seymour with a 35-20 lead in that ball game as we take a look at the scores around high school football tonight. And it's been a very good season so far for both of these teams. Both teams coming in with good records, 4-2, 6-0, both top 10 teams in the state of Indiana. And I think this is really the first tough test Providence has had. And we'll see how much that plays an effect in the second half. They haven't had very many close games going into the second half and haven't played these guys the whole game.
No, they haven't. And they've had a running clock. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but even in the Charlestown game, the second half was a running clock, right? Yeah, so they've really had a running clock all year. This will be a good test for them. I think Coach Mack needs a game like this because he's got to get his kids now ready for Corydon next week, a really, really good North Harrison team that's going to be coming down here in 2 weeks. But more importantly, their goal, their vision, what their sights are set on, because Providence doesn't play in a conference, what their sights are set on is the state playoffs and a state championship. And I would be willing to bet you that before the season started and Coach sat down and talked about the goals of each one of the players, every player on that team said our goal is to win the state championship. Anything less than that is going to be disappointing for them. So, this is a good game to get them hardened for what they're going to face in the playoffs.
And both of these teams have the talent, I would say, for my opinion, to win the state championship. And you're seeing that on the offense and defense side of the ball. Now it comes down to not making turnovers, not making mistakes, and we got a very good second half of 24 minutes left for you. We'll take a break here on Glycod at halftime. Providence on top on their homecoming night, 21-13 over top of Milan.
A proud supporter of the Providence Pioneers and Southern Indiana High School athletics, Mack Construction is a second-generation company that provides quality workmanship in heavy civil construction, asphalt, and streetscape while maintaining focus on worksite safety and productivity. Put Mack Construction's nearly 40 years of award-winning service to work for your project. For more information, visit mackconstruction.com. Mack Construction. Experience. Reputation. Solutions.
When young people need a place to go and someone to help, there's always a safe place nearby. Clark County Youth Shelter and Family Services, a local nonprofit organization, designates businesses and organizations throughout Clark and Floyd counties as safe places, which offer immediate help and safety to area youth who are experiencing crises. For more information on these safe places and a list of locations, visit ccysfs.org. This is a message from the Clark County Youth Shelter.
The only name you need to know for all your auto repair needs is Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Sure, our name might be hard to say, but we can fix everything no one else wants to fix. Big or small, we can do it all. Foreign or domestic, if it needs repair, Voinier's can handle the job. The only thing high-tech about us is what we do, and we're upfront with you and we'll do the job right. One thing we have to sell is our time, and we won't waste yours. Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Family owned since 1981. Call us for all of your auto repair needs.
With a wide range of products including video surveillance, door access, fire alarm monitoring, or burglar alarms, Northside Security ensures top service at an affordable price. Their team will efficiently plan and install your system, then train you with 24-hour monitoring. For more, contact them at 812-282-3142 or get a quote online at northsidesecurity.com. Northside Security in Clarksville, where service and protection meet.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A community supporter of our local high school athletics, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. It's a level of care you won't find anywhere else. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com for more information. Priority Radiology, you have a choice.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
This segment of tonight's game is presented by Priority Radiology, located at 807 Northgate Boulevard in New Albany. Priority Radiology, they'll get you back in the game.
About 2 minutes before we get this second half started, alongside Jim Kazmarek, my name is John Baldridge here on Glycod tonight on this late September evening here in Southern Indiana with the Providence Pioneers on top of the Milan Indians, 21-13. It's been a very good first 24 minutes. A couple turnovers, a couple penalties need to be fixed up, and whoever can do that, I believe, will come out with a victory tonight as officials meeting around the 50-yard line. Both teams going through their stretches and getting the second half started. Talked about the keys to the second half winning this football game. But for these fans too, Coach, you got to think being 6-0, you want to keep that win streak alive.
Oh, you do. Yeah. I never was a big proponent in thinking you learned a lot from losing. If you were on the losing end, you had to use it as a losing experience, but you certainly didn't want to lose a game and then have to use it as a learning experience. You can learn a lot from winning too. So I know Providence wants to continue this streak. It's close to a school record, if not a school record. So I know Coach Mack has got complete confidence in his seniors. I know his seniors have probably banded together and said, enough of this, let's get this done, let's do it right. So I'm looking forward to Providence playing a great second half, but I also am looking forward to Milan playing a good second half. They gave Providence as much as they wanted in this game.
And it's a Providence team who hasn't had many close games all year. You got to go back to really
last year.
I mean, you talk about 78-0 last week, beat Charleston 2 weeks ago, 42-14. Then you beat Clarksville 66-8, Madison 51-0. I mean, they haven't had a close game, and they haven't had a second half that matters. So we'll see these next 24 minutes.
Exactly. So, and the only thing you can do, John, is you just play the schedule. You know, Coach Mack has nothing to do with what the schedule is. You just play the schedule, and whatever teams are on that schedule, you play them. But I'm sure he's thankful that they're having a test tonight.
Yeah, and it's been an exciting game. If you're in the area, why not make your way down? Still plenty of football left to be seen here tonight in Clarksville as homecoming evening. It's been a longer second half, but finally about to get this thing kicked away as the Pioneers are back to receive with the Indians kickoff team running on the field.
And if you can't make it here in person, continue to listen and watch us on glycod.com.
Well, we appreciate. Glad you tuned our way. Thank you for checking us out. And we're about to play the next 12 minutes here in this third quarter, as it's been a good football game so far and about to see that Pioneer offense. Crowd hanging in there. Sun is set on this evening. And it will be Aiden Potts to kick it away here in a low boot again. We've seen it all night. Taking at the 33, going left side. Unruh's got a hole to the 50, breaks midfield, past the 45, moving his feet forward, and all the way to the 40-yard line.
You know, of all the players that I would want to kick the ball off to, Cade Unruh would be the last one that I'd want running in the open field on a kickoff.
And he showed an example of it right there. The 5'7", the 5'7" senior makes a nice play and gets beautiful field position to start.
John, he's been doing that all season. He's actually been doing that for 2 years now. And I could even go back to when he was a sophomore playing, when he was doing things like that.
Has 17 carries on the year on Rudeus and 3 touchdowns. As Lanning going to throw. He's got his man right side. Breaking away is Unruh, and he's all the way down to the first down, past the 30, close to the 20, and he'll keep his feet moving before he's finally wrapped up. But a very good play of 20 yards on first down.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a penalty, a holding penalty on Providence. And again, that goes back to what we talked about in the first half. When a runner starts veering and dodging and veering and weaving and changing direction, it's just so often you're going to get that holding penalty, blocking the back penalty. Because the blocker doesn't know what the runner is going to do. The blocker is just, I'm going to block you, but if you turn your back because the runner just veered in a different direction, I can't stop my momentum.
This will push him back, but because of the good play on first down, it's going to be first and short as they're going to keep it here with Lanning. Going to throw left side's got his tight end open in the flat, down past the 15 in the red zone, pushing forward to the 10, keeping his feet moving, close to 5, and what a play right there by Nolan Finnegan.
Boy, did he not want that touchdown? There is no way he was going down. He saw that goal line, and he wanted those 6 points. Nolan Finnegan does a great job on defense, but he's an outstanding blocking tight end. But you talk about a kid who wanted a touchdown. He had great desire there.
Down to the 5. Finnegan, who's had 2 touchdowns on the year, 1 last week against Irvington Prep. And going to keep it here up the middle, pushing forward. Is it the second of the day for Thomas Lynch? I believe it is.
It is.
Touchdown, Pioneers.
Okay.
And what a drive to start.
Yeah, set up by a great kickoff return by Unruh, set up by a good run by Unruh, but set up by a fantastic effort on the part of Nolan Finnegan.
Even getting pushed back on the penalty, they kept moving the ball downfield. Finnegan gets him in the red zone, and Lynch puts it in as the extra point is no good.
Oh.
And it was blocked, and with 11:06 left here in the third, only 54 seconds in, and beautiful drive put together. We'll take a break. It's a 27-13 game as Pioneers about to kick it off. We'll be back in a moment on Glycon.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School football on Glycon.
After Providence is able to go down the field only in 54 seconds and put the ball in on a 5-yard run, the second touchdown of the day for Thomas Lynch, and it's a 27-13 game now as the extra point was no good, and the Indians about to receive going right to left.
Well, let's see now how Milan responds to that.
And a low kick. It's off the body and be rolled out of bounds past the 20 and mark it about the 23-yard line. That's where the Milan offense will start.
Dylan Offit mishandled that. Dylan's had a very nice game so far too. But he was fortunate he mishandled it and it ended up bouncing forward out of bounds.
Marsh, who's only thrown 63 passes coming into this game this year, only threw 10 last week, did have 2 touchdowns, but they have kept the ball on the ground a lot in this first half of play. We'll see down 2 scores now if they open it up a little more.
I saw where Cade Unruh was on the training bench getting the back of his hamstring worked on.
They'll put the big fullback in, though, on first down, and they will hand it off. And going right side, not much room, and what a job by that defensive line again by the Pioneers.
Griffin Tucker, he has had a big game tonight.
Tucker's who's had 29 tackles come in this game, 7 for tackles for loss, and right there wraps him up in the backfield.
Yeah, we talked about Griffin Tucker before the game with Coach Mack. Transfer student from over across the river, I believe from South Oldham or North Oldham. But a great addition to Providence's team. He's a two-way starter. He's moved in and just has done a wonderful job for Providence.
Big boys, 245, and he's in his junior season as they lose 2 on first down, 2nd and 12 back to the 21. And pressure's coming, but it's got a man open up towards the middle of the field and has the first down all the way close, the 40 to the 38, and a nice flea flicker right out of the hands. Quick drop there by Marsh.
Yeah, good coverage by Brian Wall. Remember I told you Cade Unruh was on the bench getting his hamstring worked on and wasn't as quick, didn't look as quick reacting to that pass play as we had seen him in the past. Hope he's not nursing a hamstring injury. That can be painful.
Up to the 38. 1st and 10 upcoming. And the big set in here again, as we've seen mostly all night by the Indians. 2 tight ends. Keeping it here again, though, is Marsh. Got his man open again. Past the 50 into Pioneers territory down to the 47 and another first down.
Yeah, those are nice little pass plays. Off a play-action pass, Providence has to honor that run. Quarterback is on the move, so the linemen have an easier time of blocking. You've got big old defensive linemen chasing a quarterback, and they're bringing that receiver all the way across the field. So the cornerback or the outside linebacker, again, he's in a bind. Do I come up to attack the quarterback? Do I stay back and cover the pass play?
That was Jeremiah Johnson on the receptions. He had a big game tonight. Comes in with 16 receptions, but showing already 3 on the evening. Couple tight ends again. They're going to go from the 47 and go left side, try to wrap it around, and a good job by that defensive line again by Providence.
Yeah, Lucas Thomas just shot in there.
That was Austin Green on the carry. He has a touchdown in this ball game, but wasn't able to find a seam there.
Yeah, Lucas Thomas, great job from his outside linebacker spot.
Loss of 1, back to the 48, 2nd and 11, upcoming for the Indians.
As good of a running team is, Milan is a fine offensive running team. They got a lot of good stats running. They're still having a difficult time running against this Providence defense.
And if you're the head coach of Milan, as up the middle here goes Green again and picks up about 3 or 4. It's going to be 3rd and 5 upcoming. But if you're the head coach of Milan, you have to be happy with what you've seen from Wyatt Marsh tonight. Yes, he's only a sophomore, but he stood in there and had time and thrown the ball very well.
Yeah, he's running their offense very efficiently right now. Again, he's very good at the waggle passes. He's thrown a couple nice long passes. I think he's done a very good job of managing what Coach Langferman wants him to do.
3rd and 6 now as we go under 8:30 left in this third quarter in a 27-13 game. Thank you all for joining us in here on Glycad on this September night as they're going to flip it around, trying to push ahead right side, and it's going to be close to that first down marker. Got some pushes from the backside, but it's going to be 4th and 2 as you pick up 4 yards there.
As we've said earlier, there was a whole wagon full of Pioneers on that tackle.
Cameron Gibb, the ball carrier there.
And half of the Providence defense made the tackle. Wyatt Small at the bottom of the pile was holding on to his jersey for dear life.
So a very big play here in this third quarter. Could be a big turn of events if Milan can't get it. And we got a whistle before this 4th down play and a timeout called by Daniel McDonald and this defense of the Pioneers.
You know, that's a shame. I'm going to tell you, McDonald did a really good job of timing that timeout because Milan gave away their hand on what they were going to do on that trick play.
Is that something as a coach you figure out over time where it's, you wait till the last second to see what they're going to run?
And you stand right by the referee, right by him, and wait, timeout now.
And then as another coach, as on offense side of the ball, do you come back and run the same play or do you change it up?
Well, it's kind of like a chess match is what I always said. Okay, now, he knows what I want to do, and I know he knows what I want to do.
Yeah.
But if I do the same thing again, does he think I'm going to do something different? Meanwhile, McDonald says, is he going to do the same thing or is he going to do something different? I know he's going to do something different. It becomes – I know he knows what I think I know, and I'm not sure that I'm going to do the same thing again because he knows what I.
Coach,
it becomes a mind game. Providence has seen the trick play he was going to run. I'm not sure I would run that play again. I'd come up with a better play, another play.
Coach, I'm a checkers player, not chess, but right there, I understand your point. 4th and 2, you got to get here to the 37. From the 39, a man to the right, they'll bring a big bunch in as they're going to hand it off. Mark's going to flip it over to a big hole. Bracking away is Austin Green inside the 25 and down to the 23.
Yeah, it's a good run. He only needed just a little gap. He got just a little gap there, and you don't see Providence's players miss tackles very often, but they missed a tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and it ended up being a long gain for Milan. Milan is showing a lot of spirit right now coming back on a really nice long drive.
Good, very, very much fight you see, and then they're not going away. 16 yards on that last play by Austin Green, and they'll set here from the 23, 1st and 10. Under the center goes Wyatt Marsh, and he'll hand off up the middle. Pushing forward is Green, and maybe gets 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's still not bad. You're in a 4-down zone. So if I can make 3 yards and then another 3 yards and then a 4 yards, I've got my first down. So that doesn't look like much, but that's a significant gain.
You think that, as you'd see, not as many teams, even in college ball now, guys don't go under center, a lot of shotgun.
Right.
We're seeing here under center. Does that slow down the game at all? Does that kind of help the process of what we see in the night?
Here's what I think. I think it helps hide the ball. It's a more deceptive thing than the shotgun.
And they'll do it again here. Marsh, time in the pocket, going to the end zone. Up there around 3 defenders and not able to bring it home was the receptionist.
Yeah, I think he was out of bounds. Even if he had caught it, he was going to be out of bounds.
And that was Austin Green, who's ran the ball all night long, trying to bring one home and make it a 1-score game. Not able to, and it will be 3rd down and 7 upcoming.
So we need to get 3, 4, 5 yards on this play to have a real good chance on 4th down.
Crowd getting into it. 3rd down and 7, 6:08 left here in the 3rd.
Look for him to come right.
It's a big set in again, only one receiver. They're going to hand it off up the middle, trying to push forward, but a very good job. The linebackers come up and seal that hole. It looked like Luke Kruger again, and it'll be 4th down.
Now advantage Providence. 4th and 6. They've got to come up with some sort of pass play. A play-action pass where you're faking a run probably is not going to be effective because you don't have to respect the run. It's 4th and 6. I doubt if they're going to run. Don't respect the run. Respect the pass. Look for that rollout pass, that little waggle play.
A big opportunity right here.
Going to come right.
For Milan in the ballgame. Got one on the last play. 4th and 6. 2 receivers to the right.
Going to come right. We're going to load this zone right here. Nope.
Marsh looking. He's got a man in the flat. It's Green again. Can he break away? It's going to be close, and I believe he has just
he's got
enough.
The first down. Nice play. They flooded that zone. The 2 wide receivers took the defenders deep, snuck the back out of the backfield. Marsh does a really nice job of throwing a nice soft pass.
Austin Green's earning all of his paycheck here tonight. And right there, just enough for the first down. And they'll have it in the red zone down at 11, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 on the 11. That's
helpful, yeah.
That is very helpful.
Especially in a game when it's coming down to the ground attack.
And Providence has done a good job of keeping them out of the end zone in these short yardage situations.
Logan Burnham goes
up
the middle and lost it. Ball on the ground. Who falls on top of it? And Providence believes they do.
Looked like Nolan Finnegan.
It was.
Nope. Milan's ball.
Milan able to get back on top of it. Excuse me, incorrect. Logan Burton put a hand in the dirt, tried to go forward, but lost the ball down. Question is, was his knee down too?
Well, no, it wasn't. The ball was loose. I thought Finnegan had corralled that ball because it was bouncing around between a lot of different players. But the Milan player scooped it up. Now, that's a very hurtful play for Milan. They've got to overcome that now. Back in the shotgun with some wide receivers.
Loss of 2, 2nd down from the 13, and they'll go up the middle again here with Green on a delayed handoff from the backfield and maybe a yard or 2. And it'll be 3rd and long, and we'll see if they bring in the extra defensive back here for Providence.
Yeah, that was Mark Millay on the tackle. He's normally an offensive player. They put him in on defense to rest of some of the other players. He makes the big stop there.
Marsh takes his time in the huddle, gives the play out. He'll work here, needing to get down to the 1-yard line from the 13, 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
We'll send Green from his hip from the right to the left.
You're going to flood the zone again.
Pressure's coming, 4-man rush, corner trying to throw up there, and it's intercepted.
Brian Wall playing center field, does a great job. That's what that's what a safety does. That was not Wyatt Marsh's best pass.
Looking for his main man tonight, Jeremiah Johnson, and just hung up in the air a little too long.
Yeah, it was, and it was just easy pickings for Brian Wall. Brian plays that free safety spot as well as any high school player I've ever seen. And, I thought I had some good ones. I had some free safeties that were college players. But Brian Wall, he plays that as well as anybody I've seen. He's got a nose for the ball. He knows how to play the run and the pass, and that was a great example there.
So picked off in the end zone. We'll bring him back out to the 20, and that's where the offense will start. They'll go a little in and around, breaking away and trying to find a hole. Not much, maybe 3 there on 1st down. Goes the ball carrier for the Pioneers.
And that was number 7. And that would be, that's Preston Kemp. That's the second quarterback. Preston's getting a little offensive playing time. Preston Kemp, by the way, John, was the starting quarterback last year. Carter Lanham got hurt, broke his arm, and Preston Kemp came off the bench from the JV team and led him all the way into the quarterfinals of the state championship.
Kemp, who's also been their punt returner tonight, as they'll go up the gut here on 2nd down with Kruer, and he'll pick up close to that 1st down. Does he have enough? They say he does, and that will move the sticks.
Remember, they never measure anymore, so go ahead.
Why don't they do that?
I have no idea, but I've just noticed it this year that they never call for a measurement anymore. Now, it might be obvious down on the field. From up here, it's not quite as obvious.
Maybe the officials are making the same amount of money
in
3 hours and 4. As keeping it here with
Carter,
the QB and able to get out to the outside is Lanning, and Cardinal Lanning has close to that 1st down on 1st down, maybe about 8. Out to the 38-yard line, they'll give him 7 there.
Yeah, he's got Cooper Ross in there now at fullback, blocking back. Look for
some confusion out there.
Yeah, look for Kruer to use Cooper Ross as their
Lanning going to set up Kruer, and he'll give to Kruer here, and he'll go left side, and he'll be just short. Kept his feet moving at about a yard, maybe a half a yard to that 1st down marker.
Cooper Ross staying in the game. If Cooper Ross staying in the game, he is. Look for a similar type of play. Cooper will be the lead blocker.
And this is a very
He's the
big stop
linebacker.
here, a chance to get off the field, and you have to down 2 scores for the Indians.
Yeah, you do. You really have to stop him here.
So you go under about a minute in this third quarter, and up the middle on the QB sneak goes Carter Lane, and he'll have the first down.
So we've seen more quarterback sneaks in tonight's game than we've seen in the last 2 years.
So you can move the chains, move the sticks, whatever you like him, and that might – no, they'll have to run at least one more play for the end of the quarter, as Landon just going to come over and talk with his head coach. Run back over and huddle the team up in a 27-13 game, as they'll have it 1st and 10 here from their own 43.
And it looks like Providence is going to be pretty well satisfied with just running the ball.
Lanning gives to Luke Crewer again, and Crewer not much, maybe about 2 up to the 45, and a late flag as a yellow marker is thrown.
That's going to be against Milan. Unfortunately, that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, because I think one of Milan's players probably said something that he shouldn't have said.
I saw Lanning grab his face mask. That could possibly be it too.
I don't know. Could be.
We'll see what.
I believe it was a dead ball after the play. No, it is.
Ruling is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, and yep. So that will push him ahead inside Milan territory now, and this game is getting from close to a drive could really seal the deal.
Yeah, right. This drive is. And it'll be interesting.
So 28 seconds left here in the third.
Yeah, let the clock run. Yeah, well.
Looks like they will run one more play. Landon under center. He'll fake the handoff to Crewer. Pressure comes from his backside, throwing it deep. He's got a man open at the 10, but it's left short around 3 defenders.
You know, I think that the Logan Burton, the outside linebacker for Milan, may have disrupted that. That did not look like a Carter Lannon pass. It had a lot of flutter to it. That looked like more of a pass I would have thrown. It had too much flutter in it. I believe that Burton, the outside linebacker rushing, probably deflected that ball.
10 seconds left here after the incompletion. They'll bring in Unruh here on second down from the 40-yard line.
Let's see. Look for Unruh to come around the left side here. Nope.
Two running backs in there. They'll give to Luke Crewer. Has a hole right up the gut, moving past the 35 down to the 33, and it will be just short of that first down marker as we have reached the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play, Providence moving it, trying to add on to their lead with a 27-13 lead it is. On top here at home on homecoming night over top of the Milan Indians. We'll be back in a moment on Glycod's presentation of high school football.
Makes a credit union different or better? As a full-service credit union for the communities we serve, Centra offers competitive rates, online convenience, and a solid network of branches and ATMs. But we think we offer something more.
They looked at me as a person, not a number.
I would say it's always been a good, personable experience, whether it's over the phone or actually at a Centra location.
And we don't just listen to our members. We deliver new services, better rates, and lower fees. Visit Centra.org to learn more.
Dr. Carter's office, Annette speaking. How may I help you?
Whether you're a new or long-time patient, you know that when you call Dr. Todd Carter, you'll be treated like family. For over 25 years, Dr. Carter's been providing quality dentistry for patients throughout southern Indiana, from regular dental exams and cleaning to restorative and cosmetic procedures. Let their dedicated and established team take care of your family today. Call Dr. Todd Carter at 812-944-5155 or visit drtoddcarter.com. You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
"12 minutes left here as we head to the fourth quarter alongside Jim Kasmerick. My name is John Baldridge, and our on-site producer and engineer tonight, Jeff Cooper, here on Glycod as with a 27-13 game. And Coach, the Pioneers trying to run this thing into existence.
Well, they are answering the test right now. They're going to just run the ball, keep running it. He might throw a few little short passes. Look for a sweep left. There we go.
Big third down, 3rd and 3, out left side's got the first down. Keep him moving is Luke Crewer inside the 10, down to the 5, and all the way to the 3. Give him 30 yards, and that was a run and keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, really.
And more.
Yeah, and they put those three wide receivers in there tight, and they just all block down, and it's Crewer out in the open with just a safety or a corner to stop him, and that's really unfair. Crewer is a tough runner. Milan's number 11 does a really nice job of coming up and making the tackle, but he paid the price for that.
Thomas Lynch has 2 touchdowns, but it looks like Luke Crewer is the guy who gets inside the hashes as Lanning going to throw a wobbly pass, and it's almost intercepted. Holy moly. Right there, a chance to go all the way to the house. Austin Green on a wobbly pass by the senior.
Boy, that would have been to the house.
Austin Green, who's had an incredible game on the offense side of the ball, right there had a chance to make it a 1-score game and really turn the ship of what we've seen, and just a costly mistake not able to take advantage of.
Yep, and Milan needed that really, really big. That would have been a really big play for Milan. So surprising that Providence would have thrown a pass down there, though.
Yeah, you catch a break. 2nd down from the 3. They'll go up the middle here and walk into the end zone. Yep. His tip of the year, Luke Crewer.
Luke Crewer.
And he'll make it a 3-score game, 45 seconds in here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, again, I want to shout out to those offensive linemen, Gavin Evans, Sam Beck, Mark Millay, and the tight end, Nolan Finnegan. I don't think they get the credit they deserve.
We got a hold up on the field here.
I think we got a player down maybe. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like cramps.
So we'll take a quick break. Touchdown by Luke Crewer makes it a 33-13 game with the extra point to come. 45 seconds in here in this 4th quarter at Providence High School. High school football on Glycod. We'll be back in a moment.
Pickle juice, Jeff. Pickle.
Busy, always on the go. And when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
Back to Clarksville in Southern Indiana on Glycod tonight as Luke Crewer up the middle on a 3-yard touchdown run, his first of the evening, and it's a 33-13 game now, but a chance there. Really was a turn event. First down, you get all the way down to the 3-yard line after the Luke Crewer 30-yard run, coach, but then a bad pass, and Austin Green had a chance to go all the way to the house.
He did, and you won't get many more opportunities like that in your high school career to be that wide open and have that much field in front of you. And that could have been one of the reasons he may have not handled that ball very well, was because
we're trying to get a number on the injured Pioneer out there. It looks like he's having to be helped by the trainers off the field, hopefully the best around the end zone. As you can see, and right now some of the Milan players on a knee. As it's been a good ball game, really the first test we've talked about all year long for this Providence team. And they have came out in the second half under their coaching staff and really ran the ball well and played some good defense.
That's Griffin Tucker. That puts a real hole in their offense and defensive line. He's a two-way starter, offensive tackle, defensive end. And that really puts a little hole in their line. You know, John, one of the keys when you're coaching a single-A team with limited roster, one of the things you can't have injuries. And injuries are part of football. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm sure that was a freaky thing where it looked like maybe his ankle got rolled up.
He's a big dude, 245 junior, and hopefully he's all right as the whistles are down before the extra point here by Charlie Scott.
Yeah, the key is, though, if you have these injuries, who do you have? Because Tucker Griffin Griffin Tucker, excuse me. I've done that all season. Griffin Tucker, when he's injured, that's 2 players injured because he's an offensive tackle and a defensive end. So now you have to find another offensive tackle and another defensive end to take 1 player's spot.
So pushed back here from the 7-yard line. The extra point after the flag is up and through by Scott, and it's a 34-13 game. We'll take another break. 11:15 to play here in the 4th with Providence on top on Glide Cotton.
So he now has...
is what excellence in construction looks like. It's a startup company that launched in 1980 under the leadership of a husband and wife team who had a vision for growing something great, the American dream. It's 2 sons who have worked hard and earned the opportunity to carry on the legacy from the ground up. It's nearly 300 employees with common culture and commitment to construction. Some of the region's most visible and ambitious projects with the same heart, passion, and drive. It's our experience, our innovation, our reputation, and core values that set us apart. Mack Construction. This is what excellence looks like.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
Jackson Rovell will kick it off here as he'll check in for the first time tonight and get a chance to pooch it away from the 40-yard line after the touchdown there by Luke Kruger to make it a 34-13 game as we welcome you back on Glycod here in Southern Indiana in Clarksville as Milan will return up past the 30 and they'll have good field position down 3 scores around their 33 is where the drive will start for the Indians.
Yeah, you know, Jackson Rovell as the kicker, he did a good job. His ball gets up high in the air, which really allows the team to get coverage. Some of the other kickers kick that line drive kick. Well, the problem is you're not getting coverage because the players can't get downfield fast enough. That high kick that Rovell just kicked was great for the coverage guys.
And you mentioned at halftime the homecoming king, Charlie Scott, gets the 4th quarter off. He needs to rest his leg, his body, right?
He does, that's right. Give him a break.
Well, good to see Rovell in there.
Well, you know, he probably has king duties he has to attend to tonight.
I see him right there on the sideline. First down here, throwing right side's got his man
nice
out
pass.
past the 40 mark at the 39 actually, and that's a good 5-yard pickup on first down.
It's Cameron Gibb. Cameron Gibb on another play. He's had a good night tonight. Been in a lot of tackles, a lot of plays.
And we have a whistle down, and it looks like another player down here around the 38-yard line, and after the 7-yard pickup it was on first down.
Is that a Milan player down? Yep.
And it is trying to get a number on that over towards their sideline. And it could, as you talked about a second, it could just be cramps. Hopefully. But
hopefully it's nothing serious.
We don't want to speculate. We'll take another break, and after 1 minute in, 11 minutes left here in the 4th, it's a 34-13 game with Milan having the ball on Glycod.
We've always gone to Skyline. As soon as we get there, the girls run to make sure that we can get the counter. It's kind of neat for the kids to sit there and watch their food being made.
It's like right in front of you, showing kind of like how it's actually done. It's awesome because it's a Skyline thing.
Very, very, very awesome.
Where else can you go and play and entertain yourself and eat, you know?
Nobody has a counter like Skyline. It's just the best.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
Upcoming here in the 4th quarter. Action on this week 7 of high school football, and player was able to walk off on his own power for Milan, and they'll have it and go up the middle past the 45, and that's going to move the sticks.
That's a good run, and you see Brian Wall coming back up from his safety spot to make the tackle. And that's what makes him so valuable, is that he's effective on pass defense, and he is a great run defender. He knows how to play. He knows his inside-out responsibilities as a safety, and he knows his deep coverage as a safety. He's just a valuable player.
You got to be very happy with this backfield. And also, I've seen all these linebackers tonight for Providence.
Yeah.
As first down, keeping it here is the quarterback in Wyatt Marsh, and has 3-yard pickup up to his own 49-yard line. As we'll run under 10 minutes left here in this ball game. Providence trying to go to 7-0 and knock off a team that's won their last 3 in Milan.
Yep. Unfortunately, this is, when you're down by 24 points, what is the score? 34-13? So 21 points. Milan, they don't have the offense to catch up 3 touchdowns in 1 quarter.
Coach, that's my question here is why are you taking so long in the huddle?
That's
do they not have a no huddle?
They probably. That was
we
interesting.
Have a whistle and a timeout and another stoppage in play. This one's going to be used by the Indians.
Yeah.
Getting back to that point, do you not have a no huddle?
Well, I don't. I don't know. At this point of the season, 6 weeks into the season, all the summer practice. I mean, there's times.
It's something you practice.
To practice that. I mean, you can practice that. You can practice no huddle. When I coached in North Carolina, the head coach had all the offensive players have these wristbands with plays on them, and it was quite complicated because he would hold up a placard, and the placard would be red, yellow, green, whatever it might be, and then the players would look at the wristband. They would turn to let's say the red wristband or the green flap, and then they would look at that play, and there would be a signal, be number 7. So the red number 7. Oh, red number 7 is this. So the players never had to huddle. Everybody just looked at the wristband and got down and ran the play. Red number 7 might be any odd number play would be on 1. Even number play would be on 2. I mean, it was everything we did was a 2-minute drill.
And Milan had to burn a timeout there, and we got a whistle and a jump before the second down play.
Yeah.
And I mean, a guy who's in his 16th year and the head coach and Ryan Langfordman. He has a sophomore quarterback, but you still got to practice these kind of things, being down like this.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But, again, this is what happened there.
And they're going to call false start, push them back from 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 12.
So we didn't
So back all the way to the 44, and a drive that was moving forward, you back it up, and now you got to settle your horses back in.
So you're playing into Providence's strength right now, and their strength is how good their secondary and linebackers play. So by having to be forced to pass, you're really playing into Providence's strength.
2nd and 12, up the gut on a laid handoff, and not much room there. Good stop by
Millay.
Providence right there to seal the gap.
That is Mark Millay. I think Coach talked about him in our pregame. The hard work that young man has put in to become a football player, it's paying off. He's a big guy, too. 6'5" and 240-pound senior.
Wyatt Marsh going to line the offense up, and fatigue's got to play a factor in this guy. We just saw Austin Greer had a chance to throw a pick 6, but he's out there running the football. A lot of these guys going 2 ways, and it's hard to go no huddle when you're playing the whole football game.
Yep.
3rd down here.
3rd and
11 from the 45. Man in motion to the right. Marsh under center going to throw. He's got his man in the flat, but it's way short of the first down. Able to make the reception at the 49, and that's by Jeremiah Johnson, but it's 4th down and about 6.
Well, we're going to go for it.
You have to.
Oh, yeah. 8:20 left. Yeah, you have to go for it. But again, this is not the kind of game Milan has made their record on. They're not 4-2 for making comebacks by throwing the pass. They're 4-2 because they were able to control the line of scrimmage, run the clock out, have a good, strong running game, and just pass when they wanted to pass, not when they had to pass. And there's a difference.
4th and 7 here from the 49, and they're going to go with Johnson. He'll be close to first down. Try to go up high, but brought down from the lower half.
Yeah, and he's had a whale of a game, and he's down too.
Jeremiah Johnson got 6, needed to get to the 44, just a yard short, and it will turn it over as Johnson is down on the field as we have a change of the sides of the ball. We'll take another break with 7:49 left here in this fourth quarter in a 34-13 game on Glycott.
Is what excellence in construction looks like. It's a startup company that launched in 1980 under the leadership of a husband and wife team who had a vision for growing something great, the American dream. It's 2 sons who have worked hard and earned the opportunity to carry on the legacy from the ground up. It's nearly 300 employees with common culture and commitment to construction. Some of the region's most visible and ambitious projects with the same heart, passion, and drive. It's out.
Welcome back here as in a fourth quarter game, 7:49 left, 34-13, as up the middle, Providence getting the ball back after the turnover on downs and not much room on first down. And it will be second down coming up for the Pioneers.
That was an interesting play, and I don't know. Again, I look at things differently, and I look at things as a coach. Ethan Pierce, the linebacker for Milan, 6'1", a 225-pound senior. There was the Providence player and number 11 for Milan. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Gibb, I think. We're going to get up and get in a little scuffle, or at least say some dumb things to each other. And that nice senior linebacker got right in between them and pushed them aside. So you go to your sideline, you go to your bench, and let's play football and not worry about this
just
fumble.
A yard, but falls to the deck. Ball on the ground there, and it will go back to Milan.
Milan's got it.
As not able to hang on to the ball was the big fullback Cooper Ross. And he'll turn it over, and the Indians will get it back around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Cooper is more. He's a good football player. He's a really good linebacker, but he's not necessarily the ball carrier.
He's in frustration. Throws his gloves over to the sideline.
Those darn gloves. I never liked the gloves, anyways. To be honest with you.
Do they play a factor?
Well, with the right gloves, they're almost impossible to fumble. It's like. But I tell you again, how old we used to use pine tar stick 'em.
Marsh throws here up past the 50 to the 49.
So, the last couple of years I was a head coach, the kids started wearing the gloves, and the gloves are very sticky. They're like gloves that scuba divers wear. They're very rubbery and very. Yeah, I mean, if you see them catching the ball with one hand now, that's not necessarily because that's because the gloves are so sticky that the ball just kind of sticks into your hand. They outlawed the pine tar. You couldn't use that anymore. So they went to using those gloves.
Second down from the shotgun. Marsh going to scramble. Got a hole. Trying to go left side. No blockers, and he's pushed back maybe through 2 or 3 yards, and it'll be third down and 2 coming up.
You don't think Unruh's a hard-nosed football player? All you had to do is watch that play right there to show you how hard-nosed and how Cade Unruh plays with a chip on his shoulder. He loves to hit people.
And a lot of fight. A lot of these guys going both ways. I keep mentioning it, but right there, Luke Kruer also out there made a nice tackle and on the hit, and it will be, well, I guess we had a flag down. It was going to be third and 2.
Holding.
So this will push them back as they pick up the yellow marker, and all the way back now as they'll set the ball at the 41-yard line. So that will make it second and long coming.
So you were talking about going both ways. On Providence's defense, 8 of the 11 players also play on offense.
What a wrap-up. Stuffed in the backfield.
That's Mark Millay again. Came in for Tucker Griffin.
Not able to get away there was Austin Green, and we have another player down.
And this is what does happen when you start getting fatigued and you've been on the field for almost 48 minutes playing hard in a hard-fought, hard-hitting game. At this point, fatigue sets in, and when fatigue sets in, you're not quite as sharp. Your leg gets in the wrong spot. Your arm gets in the wrong spot, and then you get those injuries.
And if you're just listening and you haven't listened to a lot of 1A football in the state of Indiana, this is what happens. I mean, you think they could open up the pass game some, but because of the fatigue out there and seeing the injuries now, hopefully the Indian is all right around the 39-yard line. But it's hard to get the body fully back to where you were in the first quarter.
Well, and again, this catch-up football, throwing the ball, is not Milan's game.
Yeah.
Providence, on the other hand, is pretty efficient and fairly balanced as far as if you're going to stop their running game, they're going to be able to pass the ball. And that's what makes them so good. As a coach, if I'm coaching against Providence, what I want to do is I want to take away what they do best. I'm going to take away their best thing. I'm going to we used to say, make them play left-handed. But I'm going to find out what they do best, and I'm going to take that. I want to set my defense up to take that away. Now, the dilemma when you play Providence is they do a lot of things really good. So what do they do best? Well, I like their outside rushing game. Yeah. I'm going to set my defense to take away their outside rushing game. I'm going to force them to run inside and pass. Now, they're a good passing team.
And they'll try to pass here on 3rd and 15 as Marsh dumps it off in the flat, but stuffed right away, right back at the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th down and long.
So if you're playing Milan, and if I'm coaching against Milan, I look, okay, what do they do best? Well, they have a really, really strong inside running game. So I'm going to set my defense to stop their inside running game and make them run outside or make them throw passes, because that's not what I think is their strength. The problem when you face Providence is they do so many things well that, what do they do best and how can I take that away?
We'll see if they try to pass. Need to get to the 45 at their 40 right now. 4th and 15.
Sprint,
out in the flat. Throwing here is
pass.
Marsh, and it's deflected and broken up. What a hit, and able to come in, and that was Unruh right there, and it'll be a turnover on downs again. Unruh came in and leveled that man right there.
Yeah, Unruh. I don't know how many times I can say it, but Cade Unruh is the most hard-nosed, chip-on-your-shoulder football player I've seen for a long time. Silver Creek had a player, Jeff helped me out, 3 or 4 years ago, and he was just like that. In fact, we named the award the chip-on-your-shoulder award for that player, and daggone it, I can't think of his name now. They play at Silver Creek.
Well, Coach.
He's playing at Georgetown College now. Cade Unruh is built in the same mold as that kid. He's small, he's cocky, he's hard-nosed, he's rugged, he's tough, he plays offense, he plays defense.
Well, Coach, right there, he showed it, and throw right here with Providence back on offense as Landon's got his man right side on a little screen, and picking up the first down is the kicker, and Charlie Scott.
I think they did that just for Charlie Scott, just not only for Charlie Scott, but I think they did that for his brother Evan.
All the way down to the 29-yard line, and that can move the sticks for a Providence first down.
Well, good for Charlie Scott. That is a nice reward and a nice honor, actually. Coach, he did that on purpose.
A team that, well, to this point can't do anything wrong, and right there showed you just how good they are.
Right.
As back under center is Lane, and he'll hand off here to Crewer, who had a touchdown on the last drive and gets 2 yards on the first down play.
Yeah, just 4:15, just got plenty of time, run the clock out. You got the game won.
It's a Providence team who will take on Corden Central next week before they finish the year at North Harrison, trying to get that perfect record going into the state tournament.
And Cade Unruh's brother, Trevor Unruh, number 2, is now in the game as a running back, and I believe he's a sophomore. So let's see if he has the same.
Trevor's had 3 carries on the year, and they'll go this time with Unruh, though, and that is a nice run there by Cade Unruh, and has another first down. Sometimes it's hard to figure out. You got a lot of brothers out there. Cade Unruh, you got Trevor Unruh, you got Luke Crewer, you got Lincoln Crewer. It's a lot of names to get right.
It's the Providence family. I can tell you that. My years of coaching against them, they always seem to have 3 or 4 brothers or 3 or 4 different players with the same last name that were all of some family. That's the Providence family. That's what they're all about.
So back inside that red zone, sometimes they like to call it the gold zone because it's where you answer. And from the 15, they'll go right side here with Unruh. And this time it is the younger brother, Trevor. And he'll get about to the 10-yard line, that 4-yard pickup.
Does he not run and look like his brother? Their mannerisms and the way they run, their running style.
They're working hard right now, and they both look like they run inside the tackles, and that's what you want to see as a running back.
You know what? If you put Cade Unruh at fullback as a blocker, he'd be the best blocker around. I just can't speak highly enough of the skilled people that Providence has, all the way up and down the line.
So in the backfield is Lynch and Luke Crewer, and they'll give to Luke Crewer. Right side of the corner, is he in? He dives, and will he be in there? He dances into the end zone. His second of the day as Luke Crewer puts this thing on ice with 2:41 left in the ball game, and that gets them over 40 here tonight.
So, interestingly enough, this is a team that Providence might face again somewhere down the line in the state playoffs.
Yeah.
They might, they're 2 different districts, and Milan was number 1 in their district, and, of course, Providence is number 1 in their district.
As the extra point up by Scott is through, and it is true, and it is up and good. And with 2:41 left here in the ball game, we'll take a break in a 40-13 Providence lead as they have commanded the second half. Way back for high school football on Glycod in a moment.
We've always gone to Skyline. As soon as we get there, the girls run to make sure that we can get the counter. It's kind of neat for the kids to sit there and watch their food being made.
It's like right in front of you, showing kind of like how it's actually done. It's awesome because it's a Skyline thing.
Very, very, very awesome.
Where else can you go and play and entertain yourself and eat,
Nobody has a counter like Skyline. It's just the best.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
We'll get you back on Glycod here tonight from Southern Indiana. Alongside Jim Kazermick, my name is John Baldridge, and thank you all for tuning in our way. It's a 41-13 game. It was a 21-13 game at the half, but a very good second half put together by this Pioneers team. 20 unanswered, and they're up 41-13, and a kick out of the back of the end zone will start at the 25 here for the Indians.
So, thank you for Jeff Cooper. He did come up with the name of the player that we named the award over. That was Trey Shane. It was the Trey Shane I Play with a Chip on My Shoulder award. And he plays just like, or Trevor Unruh plays just like Trey Shane played. Don't take any time out. Every play I was going 100%. I just wanted to hit somebody. I wanted to find the ball and hit the ball, and hit the guy with the ball. I want the ball. I'm going to run hard. I'm going to run over somebody, and that's the same way. The Trey Shane Award.
Got to have that attitude. Throwing here on first down is the Indians, and maybe a yard or two on the quick pass by Marsh. And, where do you think, Coach, it went wrong, or has it gone wrong at points in this ball game for Milan?
Probably not scoring on that bad punt.
Back at the end of the first half. Yeah,
and you ended up trying a field goal that was no good. Providence came out and just took the ball down the field right away, kind of set the tone for the second half.
And they've answered. They've done that all year long.
Yeah.
Right now, throwing again here is Marsh. Got his man Johnson in the flash. Jeremiah Johnson, close to that first down marker. He'll have it up to the 30 and move the chains. Right now, you get back on that bus. You have a 2-hour ride home. And we'll dive more into the post-game show, of course.
Yeah.
But what are you taking away from this game as you wrap up and drop one game closer to 500?
Well, what I'm thinking, if I'm the Milan coach, I'm going to show my kids, this is the way you play. This is what we want to get. We want to get to this point where Providence is right now. We need to get in the weight room to compete against these kind of teams. This is what we need to do.
Running here, Johnson's got a hold of the 40, past the 45, and close to midfield. Give him 19 yards on the first down run.
So, also, I'm going to tell my kids you didn't quit. You played hard right to the very end of the game. You played a superior team that had a lot of talented players. We couldn't demonstrate the speed that they have in practice. You can't demonstrate speed unless you have speed, and Milan doesn't have speed. So when they're running sweep plays or pass plays,
up the middle, they're going to hand off here, and not much room. It's Johnson again, barely back the line of scrimmage. Well, they'll wrap the year up, have a home game next week before they go to Madison the week after that, and a team that might, as you mentioned, might see this Providence team again, and at least you learned a little more about them.
Yep. Yeah, well, and if they do face them again, the players will now know this is the kind of speed that Providence has, and this is what we can expect, and this is how we need to adjust to that type of speed.
Last play before we get under a minute here in regulation, 41-13. Shotgun snap. Marsh going to throw right side, through the in and out of hands of his receptionist right side. It'll be third down.
Yeah, and that young man has had a good game, the 25, and I'm going to look at Dylan Awful has had a really nice game for them. He's done a lot of good things. And, again, these players playing offense and defense just don't get much of a chance to rest.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's got to play a factor, especially when you have a chance to get right back in the ball game.
Yeah.
And I feel like Austin Green could have went to the house on an interception at the end of the stage of the third quarter, and fatigue's got to play a factor. A lot of injuries in this fourth quarter, as we've seen. Scrambling here again on third down and trying to break away, losing his helmet, and that's going to be,
I think that's a face mask.
A flag. There it is.
Yeah,
late.
You kind of grab the face mask and pull the helmet off. That's a no-brainer for the referee.
Marsh scrambled right, back to the left, 20 yards or so just to pick up 3, but he'll get the penalty added on. With 48.3 seconds left here in regulation. And a flag here will push him inside the 40-yard line. Want to thank everybody here tonight that came out and see it, and we glad you listened in on GliteCod to check us out one more time. It's been a pleasure to fill in the shoes tonight and do some play-by-play action here in Clarksville, and we'll have plenty more to come on the postgame, wrap that all up as Pioneers stay unbeaten. They'll go to 7-0 on the season. And as you mentioned, the pregame show talking to head coach Dan McDonough for the ball game as a throw left side here picks up about 3. A team that hasn't started 6-0 in about 30 years.
Now 7-0.
Yeah, and it's impressive. And we'll see if they can keep it going into the state tournament.
So this is your first time seeing Providence. They are impressive.
Yes, sir.
They do a lot of things really well. And you didn't see there were a lot of things Providence did tonight that were not
pressure's coming, wrapped up in the backfield and brought down.
That is Tucker Griffin, who
was down earlier.
He was down. They carried him off the field. He was limping. He had a miracle recovery. He's back in the game again.
And that will end the ball game. The final score after a very competitive first half, but Providence owns the last 24 minutes, and they wrap a victory with 20 unanswered to take down the Milan Indians tonight here at home on homecoming night for the Pioneers, 41-13. Coach, we'll take a break, but it's been an exciting one here this evening.
Well, it was very exciting. The first half, first quarter, the first half, even the very start of the third quarter. It was a very exciting game, very good game. I think it was a game Providence needed. They responded well. They responded like the champions they were going to be. And Milan got still things they can build on. The coach can't be terribly disappointed. He knew he was facing a tough team. I think if they had been able to control the clock, control the ball by running the ball, it might help them a little bit more. Providence wasn't going to let them do that. They were packing the box in there tight. So good for Providence, a great win for them. Milan, long trip back home, but you can't be too disappointed in the way he played.
And the Pioneers go to 7-0 as the Indians drop to 4-3. We got plenty to come on the post-game show. We give you storylines to wrap this up and give you our analysis next. So stay with us for that here on Glide Continental. Final score one more time as the Pioneers win it 41-13 to go to 7-0 on the season. We'll be back here in Clarksville on Glide Con in a moment.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A community supporter of our local high school athletics, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. It's a level of care you won't find anywhere else. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com for more information. Priority Radiology, you have a choice.
At German American Bank, our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
I'm your cat. And ever since you brought me home that day, I've been plotting to destroy you. This is 1 billion years of tiger DNA just ready to pounce. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, you could be coughing up the cash for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like meow.
Contact Floyd Snobbs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page for a quote today.
Vaccines help fight infections. When your child gets vaccinated, their immune system will remember the vaccine and attack the germ if it ever invades their body. Physicians suggest following the recommended vaccination schedule to provide your child with the best protection against serious diseases. The Clark County Health Department reminds you to stay up to date on your vaccines. For more information, please visit clarkhealth.net. Clark County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with GlyCod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Jim Butner Auto in Clarksville, home of the best pre-owned car, truck, and SUV prices and selection in Southern Indiana. Jim Butner Auto, striving to keep you driving.
Final score here tonight as the Pioneers pick up their 7th win in a row and stay unbeaten as they win it over top of Milan on this Friday night. 41-13 back in the press box here at Murphy Stadium. And, Coach, it was a very eventful game. I mean, a game that really felt like the first half could go either way at halftime. But simply, fatigue played a little bit of a factor, and Providence, who's looked like they put more time in the weight room, it panned off in the second half.
Well, and it was a very entertaining game for 3 quarters, actually. Providence just kind of dominated starting in the middle of the third quarter into the end of the game. Wore down Milan. They're a hard-hitting team. Those, I sometimes they're related to a prize fight where, you got two middleweight boxers in there, and Providence and Milan kind of like middleweights. And they're trading punches and punching, and pretty soon the Providence punches are just getting a little stronger and a little harder, and pretty soon your hands go down, and once your hands go down, you get a knockout punch. So, and that's kind of what happened tonight. Providence, you just keep hitting away until they drop their hands, and once they drop their hands, you go for that knockout punch, and, the fourth quarter was kind of Providence's knockout punch. They do what they need to do to win games. If it's a running game, we saw them run the ball against Charlestown. They can run the ball. If they need to pass the ball, like if they need to get wide, they can do that. They're a tough team to defend.
I think you mentioned it best. You're talking about all the skilled players, and Lynch and Kruger had 2 touchdowns, and Brian Wall had a really good game, and Unruh and Finnegan had a nice reception. But your pregame comments with the coach talked about the offensive line, and I think tonight that was a big factor.
Oh, it was. It was a big factor in the game. And Milan has a nice defensive front. They've got some good-sized players. We'll look here at Milan's front here. Trevor Langferman, 6 foot 215. Landon Stanley, 5'11", 250. Zane Richardson, 5'9", 235. And he's only a freshman. He's gonna have a good future. Joaquin Allen, 6 foot 227. So these aren't small players. We weren't going against Munchkins. So Providence's offensive line matches 6'2", 245, 5'10", 200, 5'11", 250, 6 foot 240, 6'5", 240. That was a good matchup for Providence's offensive line. I think they passed their test also. They did a good job controlling the Milan front.
And Milan, if you couldn't make your way down and you're listening tonight as a Milan fan, I think there's a lot of promising things for them too. Same thing with Providence here on their homecoming night, going to 7-0, having one of their best starts in the last 30 years. We got a lot more to come on the Postgame show as we'll take a break and have more here as a 41-13 win tonight for Providence here in Clarksville. We'll be back in a moment on Glycod.
What makes a credit union different or better? As a full-service credit union for the communities we serve, Centra offers competitive rates, online convenience, and a solid network of branches and ATMs. But we think we offer something more.
They looked at me as a person, not a number.
I would say it's always been a good, personable experience, whether it's over the phone or actually at a Centra location.
And we don't just listen to our members. We deliver new services, better rates, and lower fees. Visit Centra.org to learn more.
A proud supporter of the Providence Pioneers and Southern Indiana High School athletics, Mack Construction is a second-generation company that provides quality workmanship in heavy civil construction, asphalt, and streetscape while maintaining focus on worksite safety and productivity. Put Mack Construction's nearly 40 years of award-winning service to work for your project. For more information, visit mackconstruction.com. Mack Construction. Experience. Reputation. Solutions.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A community supporter of our local high school athletics, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. It's a level of care you won't find anywhere else. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com for more information. Priority Radiology, you have a choice.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, it might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Contact Floyd Snobbs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today.
In
one fell swoop, one innocent city will be left with one burning question.
What? No.
When you need to be there, you need an Interstate, the car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
At German American Bank, our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
John Balders back here wrapping it up with you in the post game here at Murphy's Field in the press box as the Pioneers, I keep saying Panthers. I don't know why, Coach. Pioneers go to 7-0 and Providence stays unbeaten.
Panthers are next week.
Panthers next week. How about that? And talking about next week, both of these teams got tough test as Milan jumps with the loss, goes to 4-3 on the year. And as you mentioned at the fourth quarter, it came back to that punt over the head and back in their own side of the field by the Pioneers.
11-yard line.
And you set up at the 5 after that. You get pushed back, couple flags. You can't get the field goal. You miss it. And then the second half, Pioneers go down the field, score on the first drive, get a couple stops, score 20 unanswered, and win the ball game 41-13. And I think when it comes back to simple things, and it's not just this team, it's every high school football team, even in college, it comes down to the turnover battle. It comes down to mistakes, and that's what won the football game here tonight.
It's really, for coaches, we call it attention to detail. You take care of the small details, and the big things will take care of themselves. And the big things are, okay, you're facing some adversity. You got a bad snap over the punter's head. They have the ball on the 11-yard line. You fire up your defense. You say, hey, come on, guys, we need to stop them. This is your job now. Your job is to stop them. Don't let them in. Providence answered the bell. They came out and stopped them.
Yeah,
and attention to detail. Don't hold on a sweep play. Don't hold. So you get a 20 or 30-yard gain on a sweep or a kickoff return, and it's all called back because you were holding. That's attention to detail. You see the back of a player's jersey, don't block them. If you see the back of the numbers, don't block them. Referees are going to call it all the time. Attention to detail. Those are small things that end up, if you take care of those things, the big thing, the win, the victory, will take care of itself.
Gets to some scoring plays in this ball game. Cardinal Lane 1 yard out after a nice setup down to the 1-yard line after a nice pass to get him there from Nolan Finnegan, the big tight end. That made it 7-0. Wyatt Marsh was able to come back and get his own touchdown from 1 yard out to make it 7-7. Then Thomas Lynch was able to get his only touchdown of the ball game, a 31-yard run that made a 14-7 game and made it 21-7 after a stop and a 3-and-out. Providence got the ball back, set one up for I believe it was Brian Wall who had the touchdown. And then a touchdown by Wyatt Marsh again from 1 yard out to make it 21-13. After that, it was pretty much all Luke Kruger in this run game and the attack for Providence second half. Kruger, 2 touchdowns in that second half. Cade Unruh also ran the ball really well. Thomas Lynch, and even got the younger brothers in there a little bit. Lincoln Kruger and also Trevor Unruh ran the ball solidly tonight, an all offensive attack on the ground for this Providence team. They go to 7-0. Milan drops to 4-3. We'll come back for one more break and wrap it up. And also tonight's scoreboard is presented by Clark County Health Depot. Thank you very much for Clark County sponsoring that tonight. We'll be back here one more time for Providence as they win it and stay unbeaten on this Friday night on Glycod.
People need a place to go and someone to help. There's always a safe place nearby. Clark County Youth Shelter and Family Services, a local nonprofit organization, designates businesses and organizations throughout Clark and Floyd counties as safe places, which offer immediate help and safety to area youth who are experiencing crises. For more information on these safe places and a list of locations, visit ccysfs.org. This is a message from the Clark County Youth Shelter.
With a wide range of products including video surveillance, door access, fire alarm monitoring, or burglar alarms, Northside Security ensures top service at an affordable price. Their team will efficiently plan and install your system, then train you with 24-hour monitoring. For more, contact them at 812-282-3142 or get a quote online at northsidesecurity.com. Northside Security in Clarksville, where service and protection meet. When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A community supporter of our local high school athletics, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. It's a level of care you won't find anywhere else. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com for more information. Priority Radiology, you have a choice.
This is what excellence in construction looks like. It's a startup company that launched in 1980 under the leadership of a husband and wife team who had a vision for growing something great, the American dream. It's two sons who have worked hard and earned the opportunity to carry on the legacy from the ground up. It's nearly 300 employees with common culture and commitment to construction. Some of the region's most visible and ambitious projects with the same heart, passion, and drive. It's our experience, our innovation, our reputation, and core values that set us apart. Mack Construction. This is what excellence looks like.
I'm your cat. And ever since you brought me home that day, I've been plotting to destroy you. This is a billion years of tiger DNA just ready to pounce. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, you could be coughing up the cash for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like meow.
Contact Floyd Snobs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page for a quote today.
You never know who you're going to run into at a Skyline. I moved to Cincinnati and I was playing in bands. I met Michael and we've been playing and writing music ever since. We live 300 feet from a Skyline, and we go there constantly.
And I'm sure there have been multiple times where we've gone before a show and then after the show. Any time for us is Skyline time.
It has a feeling kind of like those mom and pop diners, also like a deep charm for me.
It's just good hangs there at Skyline.
You're tuned in to Southern Indiana High School Football on Glycod.
Welcome back here to Providence High School. We are wrapping it up as the Pioneers stay unbeaten. They win it tonight on top of the Milan Indians. The Indians come up the road for about 2 hours south and had a very good first half, but wasn't able to score any points second half, and the Pioneers win the football game 41-13. We want to thank Providence again for everything they do here tonight, allow us to broadcast this game, as this broadcast is authorized by Providence High School with production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all participating athletes, coaches, and game personnel. We thank you all for listening tonight. And, Coach, get into your key player of this ball game. I know you have a couple key players from this action.
You know, it's so hard when Providence has so many weapons and so many players and so many skilled players. It's hard to pick just one. And I know sometimes we feel like we are kind of redundant talking about the same players because we really – I've said this before. It's like you could morph all of those players into one player, and that would be a typical Providence player. So I mean, whoever we pick, it's going to be, well, that guy had a good game, but so and so had a better game. Anyway, all that being said, for Milan, we'll talk about Milan first. I'm sorry. We had a couple picks, a couple choices, but number 44, Jeremiah Johnson at Milan, did a really nice job, carried the ball, a couple touchdowns, did a really nice job for the Indians, so he will be our player of the game for Milan. And, boy, again, trying to pick through Providence's players. I was thinking we made a mistake here because, by golly, how can you not pick the king? How do you not pick the king? Anyway, but
he's a kicker.
Yeah, but still, sometimes kicker can be.
He had a nice reception tonight.
He did. Anyway, Brian Wall was our pick for player of the game. He does such a good job on defense. He's an integral part of their blocking scheme on offense. Had a nice long catch tonight. So congratulations to Brian Wall as our player of the game. And then, most importantly, this is the lineman of the game. This is the special Coach Kazmarek Lineman of the Game award. We talked about all the Providence linemen before the game, but we want to give it to Griffin Tucker tonight as the Providence offensive lineman of the game. So congratulations to all those players.
And he battled through injury, was down for a second, and Tucker was able to make a nice tackle to end this ball game.
Yeah, came back out.
Tonight's most outstanding players are presented by Skyline Chili. Visit them at their 35 Ohio Grand Line Road in New Albany. It's Skyline time. Always puts a smile on my face. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight's broadcast. For everybody here at GlideCon, we appreciate you all listening in. For our producer, Jeff Cooper, the man running our camera tonight and doing a very good job up there is Joey Theobald. For my analyst, my broadcast partner, the man to my right tonight, Jim
Kazmarek,
of course.
You got it.
And my name is John Baldridge. We'll speak to you next week. The final score here one more time. The Pioneers stay unbeaten as they go to 7-0, winning 41-13 over the Milan Indians. So long, and everybody have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time.
Clear.
From GlideCon, this has been Interstate Batteries Southern Indiana High School Football. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable since 1952. Tonight's game was brought to you by Jim Butner Auto Group, Southern Indiana's top choice for buying a pre-owned vehicle. Mack Construction, experience, reputation, solutions. Allstate Insurance Agent Packy Page, he puts you in good hands. Clark County Health Department, prevent, promote, protect. Centra Credit Union, centered around you. State Farm Insurance Agent Theresa Lamb, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Priority Radiology in New Albany, you have a choice. By German American Bank, Skyline Chili, Clark County Youth Services, Northside Security, and Call's Body Shop.
Visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @GlideCod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from GlideCod.
All right, bye.